Good evening, Randomizer fans. Welcome to this edition of the Super Metroid Link to the Past Combo Randomizer Spring 2020 Tournament, the 1v1 format here. We're having a match between Silverrain64 and Ivan. We are in the bracket stage of this tournament. This is a first round bracket match. Our tournament has been brought to us by Rank 1, who sponsored a cash prize for the finisher. On crew tonight, we've got Zeruvian doing tracking, and here in the booth, myself, Cheesinator, along with Eleanor Lamb. Eleanor, what's got you excited about tonight?
Uh, I'm just excited for this race. I mean, Ivan, it's pretty hype. Silverrain is somebody that I've definitely seen around the community, so I'm looking forward. It should hopefully be a close race.
Yeah, I'm excited for a lot of route divergence, a lot of unique finds in either direction, and it looks like the runners are going to be starting off before we can say too much about them. But just quickly, Silverrain is a veteran of the randomizer, has played in so many pickups. I've raced with her many times. Ivan, you'll know from GDQs in the past. He's a longtime Super Metroid speedrunner. So both of them very skilled and have earned their spot here in the bracket stages.
I'm just glad no one's doing an upside down Samus.
Oh gosh, yeah. Ooh, Ivan making the spicy check down here. He's going to see one item in logic, one item out of logic in Blue Brinstar.
This is kind of a surprising play to me.
Yeah, I think it's the kind of play that it costs you, 60, 90 seconds maybe in the early game, but it could get you like 15 minutes ahead. And if you feel like your SMS execution is good enough to take the item that you find back out doing the shaft climb, then it's not too bad.
Only missiles at Morph Ball, sadly, so we'll see what the item in the sky is. Or, I don't know, ceiling? I guess item in the sky is Wretch.
Yeah. And if he wants it, he'll need to do a damage boost here. Just power bombs, so he might try it once there and then reset. Yeah, it's a reset. Okay. A lot of missiles so far. We saw missiles on Lake Hylia Island. We've seen missiles at the Morph Pedestal, and here was missiles at Uncle's treasure chest.
Yeah, unfortunately, while it is some kind of flying bomb, it cannot open walls.
Healthy amount of rupees though so far, so that's going to mean without having to do anything extra like Houlihan or finding a lucky bush crab, Silverrain will be able to buy the bottle vendor item as well as purchase bombs if she needs to for opening up the first couple of checks in Kakariko.
It looks like she's going to go up and check at least the bush crab up here. Might check lumberjack.
Yeah, going this sort of north route here to the Lost Woods gets you a few things out of the way. It's more chances for rupees, bombs like that, for example, and then you get to check the lumberjack to see if Aghanim is required for the item.
That's a real nice bush crab find.
I think that was a piece of heart.
That's what I think it was as well.
Yeah, and in this game, you've got to get used to identifying items by like the bottom third of their pixel art, because sometimes that's the fastest way to check.
Yeah, and then you've got the runners that I feel like they must take a screenshot, but they open the map for so short that you can't even see. More power bombs at the mushroom spot, so that's at least 2 sets of power bombs we know.
Ivan followed suit, just going to Uncle, no escape or anything like that, as his opening for Link to the Past, and is going to also follow with Sanctuary to presumably Kakariko. So basically just the length of that Brinstar check behind so far.
But yeah, like you said, is like 60 seconds. So, in the grand scheme of things, probably not going to make or break any.
Yeah, I think runs are decided by the big routing decisions you make in the mid game and sort of how efficiently you play out the seed after you get the bundle of items it first hands to you. Early game you can check Agina. Like it's probably not going to lose you the game to check Agina in most times, and sometimes it'll win the game for you.
I've been getting his 8 bomb drop.
We got a packed spot here in Blind's hut. 5 items down here in the basement. Usually where we start getting something to do in the game. Well, Ice Rod kills some things.
So pendant turtle rock. Ooh, hey, silver arrows. Those are nice. No bow.
Yeah, those are... I mean, silvers can obviously be anywhere because they aren't a hard gate to any of the progression. And then Ice Rod, if it is Crystal Turtle Rock, it's so nice to just have that out of the way early. That's one of those late chase items. But the Magic Cape, that could be a sign for Aghanim. We don't know yet because we still need a number of additional items.
Yeah, it's also helpful that one of the tree poles was full magic, so they have a full magic bar for that ice rod, which works out nicely.
Got a question in chat. It's a little bit short, but I'm going to extrapolate. They've asked how it works. I think they mean how does this combo rando work, and why don't we tell you real quick. The lead developer, Total, put these two games together. They do not share the same memory space, so they were able to fit on one Super Nintendo cartridge safely together. And you go between the two games using 4 different portals, one of which we've already seen. That went from Criteria to the like the fortune teller shop in the Link to the Past Light World Overworld. And there are a couple more, and you'll see them use them throughout the game. Items collected in either game stay with you, so you can find Super Metroid items in Link to the Past and vice versa.
Just $5 or $20 in the chicken hut. Yep, and I guess it's important to know too that the goal, you have to win both games. So you have to kill Ganon and Mother Brain. And as far as Link to the Past goes, it's just standard 7-7.
Yep, if you're familiar with either of the randomizers for these individual games, there are some slight differences. This randomizer is on its own development path and actually released its version 11 right as this tournament started. It has its own logic, which is pretty close to Link to the Past logic, but it hasn't incorporated some of the newer changes, like Fire Rod cannot get you to the back of Eastern Palace or through the Rupee basement and pod, those sorts of things.
You'll also find bomb capacity upgrades and arrow capacity upgrades. Some of those were removed in the latest version, but there's still some out there, so you might see a +5 bomb or +10 arrow.
Ooh, Silverrain just steps from that missile, decides against it to save a little bit of time there. Missiles aren't too highly valuable in this combo rando. There are just about a jillion of them, but you kind of need a certain amount to get going, especially if you don't find a beam. We got 2 pendants Light World, one of them the vanilla green pendant, and 5-6 crystal on desert, so all non-standard dungeons here today in the Light World.
Do you know, is Harry usually the blue pendant and vanilla Link to the Past?
Yeah, I think it's red on desert, blue on Hera, but frankly, red and blue are interchangeable to me. They're functionally the same
Sure.
combos,
Yeah.
so I never think about it.
I haven't actually seen or played a non-randomized Link to the Past, and so.
Oh, that's funny. So we're gonna get Sahasrara here, who normally is the. Well, you talk to him to find out where the green pendant is, but it's in the Light World. It's right here.
Eastern is, of course, locked with the bow. There's the moon pearl.
Okay, so we've got more than enough cash to eventually check Zora, though it is currently out of logic. That Moon Pearl, though, so now we're starting to sniff Dark World, and with a Magic Cape and a Moon Pearl, we just need a lamp and a sword, and we'd be good to go for Aga. But yeah, Moon Pearl is one of those 2 orbs, as they say, which are so crucial to opening up progression in combo rando. Moon Pearl lets us be a fully fledged version of Link in the Dark World, and do all normal actions, while the Morph Ball in Super Metroid lets Samus crouch into collapse into a tiny rolling ball and fit through small passages, which is key to moving around the Super Metroid map.
It's nice finding the Moon Pearl there. Silverrain, she's going to have a little bit of an advantage if she decides to fake flipper, as she'll be able to check the waterfall items with that Moon Pearl, whereas Ivan will not.
That's right, yeah. There are, in fact, since you just talked through two of them, there are a number of like overworld minor glitches and some in-dungeon minor glitches as well that are allowed in the combo randomizer. They're considered like not game breaking, basically, just kind of convenience tools. So fake flippering is one of them you might see, where a runner will splash into the water right at the edge of the screen, but the splash doesn't go off as they immediately screen transition and they start swimming. And then we might see a trip into the waterfall cave on the back of that, which requires the Moon Pearl to, for some reason, be standing up and fully functioning as Link when you return to the cave.
It's best not to think about why Link to the Past does the things it does.
Yeah, it's a wonderfully buggy game, as most of the games are in the Zelda franchise. But we got Mini Moldorm Cave here, a lot more missiles, but our first glove.
I was thinking for a minute we might find the mitts and we might have a similar match to the Maniacal Iris match earlier, where they had Dark World access in like 3 minutes.
Yeah, and that can happen. We've had some pretty wonky seeds so far today with their item placements. Hopefully this one's a little bit more balanced though between Link to the Past and Super Metroid progression. What I'd like to see is, I'd like to see something early on Zora. We've got a glove that puts Zora in logic, and we've got the money for it. So I'd love to see someone head up there.
Yeah, I think that's a good play.
Silverrain is going to navigate these dark rooms. Without the lamp, there are a few rooms in Eastern Palace that are dark, but you can find your way around through some lighting effects, and you can also just have the rooms memorized. Hopefully Silverrain doesn't wipe here, though. This could be if she takes a hit from one of these anti-fairies, especially. Oh, just clutched it out there, but it's going to have to be careful with her health in this next room. While Ivan is taking the glove to that logical, potentially 3 items here in the back of Escape.
Yeah, this is definitely an easy check to make when you find the glove. And plus they actually are kind of running out of other locations to check. But the answer wasn't there. That was just super missiles, a heart container, and the map.
So, interesting thing about getting glove that early and already having done Uncle is that it kind of isolates front of Escape and Dark Cross, and you sometimes don't see runners get back to that for quite a long time, like well after checking Super Metroid.
Silverrain's gonna pick up some more bombs. Meanwhile, Ivan's gonna get his boom.
Yeah, so really just opposite day here. They're going to the same places in different order, with that narrow advantage you mentioned of Silverrain coming to South Shore with the Moon Pearl already in hand.
Yeah, I'm really at this point curious what our progression's gonna be. Are we gonna find a hammer, and is it gonna be Dark World? Are we gonna find a morph ball? We're running out of checks.
Yeah, numerically speaking, Agina is actually starting to become pretty probable, given how much of the first sphere of checks we've already seen. Zora, of course, at front of Escape. What else? We've already seen Blue Bryn.
Yeah, front of Escape and Agina are all I can think of. Zora was Zora, that's right, yeah.
Yep. Of course, we might also see one other early sequence break with that fake flipper we were mentioning. You can visit the man camping out under the bridge there. He's got a nice little tent, and in vanilla he gives you a bottle, but in rando he could give you anything. Could be your morph ball.
Silverrain's being careful with these crabs. These crabs do 2 hearts on green mail, so you can die real. I see chat is asking you, Cheese, do you know who won this match?
This is happening right now. This is real. It's 10 minutes behind because of stream delay rules, but it's happening, and we don't know what's going to happen.
Are you saying you're not psychic? I'm so disappointed.
No, I cannot tell you the future of Rando, unfortunately. If I could, I would be #1 on the leaderboard, but that's Ozzy.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, find Aussie if you want to know who won. He probably already knows.
And nice fake flipper there from Silverrain. She's going to make a beeline straight for this whirlpool, which will lead up to the waterfall cave area. Now you just have to watch out and not get sniped by this, what do you call those, like Zora's Domain whirlpool monsters?
I always thought they were just like Zoras.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's fair.
Because King Zora is the big one, but then the little ones are all Zoras. Wow, Waterfall Cave was garbage.
Yeah, and we don't even have a bottle that we can fill up at the waterfall cave, which, new in this edition of the logic of this randomizer, all bottles found are empty, and all bottles filled up at the Pyramid Fairy or the Waterfall Fairy give you green potion.
Power bombs on Zora's ledge. Unlikely to see anybody pick those.
All right, and once again, ooh, yeah, gotta dodge those Zoras. But this is good. So if you happen to get hit here in the randomizer, there's a failsafe that just makes it so you die rather than soft locking like you would in the vanilla game. Actually, hard locking, I think.
More power bombs!
Alright, well by the numbers, I'm going to expect to see front of escape before Agina for either of these two. Especially since, you know, at least with an ice rod, you've got some way to kind of fumble your way around if you want to rope in a dark cross check along with that. But this looks like the Agina play.
Yes, looks like Silverrain has heard what you said and has chosen to spite.
Yeah, chosen to completely disregard it. That's fine. I have a style where I follow the numbers, and other people have styles where they just make spicy plays that win them games.
Ivan looks like he's gonna fake flipper.
Yeah, looks like he's okay with retreading the same ground that he's already covered here down by the South Shore because he knows Moonpearl will efficiently rope in those 2 extra checks with him when he does do the Zora. That could be his logical progression. So, you know, it does suck a little bit to double dip areas, but this is a really tiny double dip.
Yeah, I'm curious if he's gonna check the hobo. I kind of don't like that Silverrain skipped the man under the bridge.
You know, it's something that you can bring in later if you have your flippers. Of course, if flippers are go mode, it doesn't matter. But I don't think it's too high priority. It's a bit slow relative to the nearby checks. But yeah, this is one of our last 4 items we're gonna get to see here.
I'm also surprised Silverrain didn't even look at the desert ledge.
Oof.
Uh-oh,
Again,
that
a
hurt.
bust. I'm gonna walk outside, I think, and go over to the desert ledge and then reset probably. I've been looking for the right spot to fake flipper back out, and he gets it. You have to hit the edge of the screen when you jump off that ledge there before getting back into the water safely.
Yeah, and the funny thing about that particular place to fake flipper is you don't actually want to be as far to the right as possible. It's kind of counterintuitive, but you want to be a little bit down into the left.
Alright, and then this should be the escape play. If there's nothing else, oh wait, we're going somewhere. We're getting bombs. Maybe, oh yeah. So to do the escape without a proper weapon, which, you know, the ice rod counts, it will one-shot, I believe, the blue guards. But bombs are nice. They will 2-shot blue guards or 1-shot green guards, and sometimes that's how you gotta do the escape.
Yep, the logic doesn't account for you don't need to have a weapon. It just assumes that you can get bombs and can use bombs.
Yeah, I must say it's rare to be completely funneled through Sphere 1 in this manner where like both runners are going to end up in the escape sequence without any other options of what to do. But that'll keep them on pretty even footing early.
Who goes right there?
That was awesome. I've never seen that in Rando, and frankly, I love it.
Like, I can't even commentate that. It's just so far outside my realm of experience.
Nice, yeah. Ice Rod, ooh, and there's a hammer. That's Dark World. That was quick. Plus, it
Yeah,
makes the rest of this thing easier.
that's a heck of progression. That opens up a lot of the world for that.
Yeah, suddenly we've got Hype Cave, Pyramid Ledge, Catfish, plus a whole big loop around the west side of the world, Village of Outcasts, Thieves Town, Full Clearable, that sort of thing. Not that anybody wants to do Thieves Town on 4 Hearts Green Mail.
This menu is really giving Silverrain trouble. The item layout is not friendly.
Oh, that's gonna make it a little bit easier though. We got a fire rod. So double rods, Skull Woods is partially covered now. We'll still need a sword to be able to finish it, whatever its pendant or crystal status is. And 2 of the trolley items for a potential crystal TR out of the way as well.
Yeah, I feel like getting both rods at this point makes me definitely go pendant turtle rock.
Yeah, I think that's the pessimist approach. I'm an optimist. I say, oh, look at how nice the rando was to me today.
And just some bombs in Zelda's cell.
Cool. And not doing the Dark Cross in the Dark, which frankly, I mean, yeah, even with Fire Rod, not really worth now because you've got very clear progression for where to go. The Dark World is crying out for us.
Yeah, plus Silverrain hadn't done backup escape yet, so she's
Oh
gonna
yeah.
take care of that.
So this will basically even things up, and we'll probably see both runners go immediately to Hype Cave. That's the fastest new set of items you can get with this kind of Dark World access.
Of course, anybody who watches either this or the Zelda randomizer knows that Hype Cave these days tends to be anything. That said, it's 5 checks, super quick. You're gonna go check it even if the meme is it sucks.
Yep. And in the combo rando, it's true, any given location is going to be lower value. Having Super Metroid in the pool puts in a lot of things like missiles that you don't necessarily need, reserve tanks, and so on. And there are 316 total items between these combined games, so lots of chances to whiff, but 5 in one spot is just about as good as you're going to find anywhere.
Yeah, and of those 300 items, I feel like 75 of them are missile pack.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a map check. I saw a red crystal on Swamp, and that is the only thing I saw.
We do have one more pendant to account for.
We got a Bombos, we got 20 bucks, we got a missile pack, we got grapple beam. I'd give
Okay.
that, I don't know, a 5.
Yeah, I'm gonna go more conservative. Let's call it a 3.5 out of 10.
Well, where'd the optimism go?
Bombos might be, well, that's the thing. Bombos might be a required medallion for Meyer or TR, but we already have Fire Rod, so it's not going to get us into Ice Palace or anything like that. And then Grapple Beam, that just means Wreck Ship, and who wants to go to Wreck Ship?
I would like to give a big shout out to, I'm gonna miss.
You were given a big shout out, but I think we lost your voice there just for a second, Eleanor. Meanwhile, we got the runners going over towards Stumpy, who hands us 50 bucks. So this is an interesting south route, Mitzless. So from Hype Cave, you've kind of got 2 options, and they both lead to 2 more items. You can go west to Stumpy and Digging Game, or you can go north to Pyramid Ledge and Catfish. I like to go right in that particular instance because it means I'm not passing by like mirror and mitts checks and things that I could do later. But both these runners of the same mindset, they wanted to go west. And Digging Game, you know, you can take up some rupees if you need rupees for anything. Yeah, and the fact that they're basically on the same screen at this timestamp is just really funny. It has been a very linear early game. Ooh, Silverrain has now turned down a missile pack both on the light side and dark side of that same screen. If Charge Beam doesn't come, you know, those missiles might end up mattering, it's all I'm saying. Okay, so yep, a north route sanctuary to the Village of Outcasts area is same move for both players going next. We'll probably see maybe a dip into the front of Skullwoods and like a check over to the side to the bumper ledge because we do have cape. However, there's some stuff that we can't do up here yet. Again, no sword to complete Skullwoods, and can't do the Smith sequence, so might be heading into Thieves Town after just a few checks here in the Village of Outcasts. We'll have the chest game, the Sea House, and possibly the Brewer's Basement.
Alright, I can hear you again. That was really weird. My headset was still working because I could hear sounds, but couldn't hear you.
Just blame Discord. They've had a lot of activity the last few months. But we do have Silverrain and Ivan both in Dark Village of Outcasts area. Ivan opting to go north for the bottom of Skullwoods check. Silverrain doing a map check. Skullwoods is pendant, so we may not even be worried about that sword that completes it. And yeah, besides that 5/6 crystal on Swamp you mentioned, the rest of the Dark World is plain crystals.
How do you feel about the Skullwoods check? Do you think of it as kind of just like an overworld check, or?
Yeah. I think this is an overworld check that the closest you're ever going to be is like that first time coming through the Village of Outcasts portal. Being a pendant, you're probably not going to be double dipping, so you're not worried about that. I love it. I've seen races absolutely lost or won on the back of this specific check. Think about the semifinals last year with Andy and Solsky.
Silverrain looks like she is gonna check bumper ledge, which makes sense.
Yeah, and since Aga got pretty quickly ruled out by the items that we got, this cape is just kind of sitting there being, being a tease. It's like, well, I do one thing for you, and why don't you go check it out? Yeah, it's a little out of your way. Just go check it out. And it's 5 bomb capacity, so.
I can't believe she's not gonna get that.
Yeah, there are still capacity upgrades in this pool, but in this particular newest version, some of the capacity upgrades have been removed for plain stacks of items. That's usually not too relevant past the first sphere of checks, though, when you're looking for bombs.
Personally, I like the capacity upgrades because I suck and 50 arrows may not be enough. So, there you go, Morph Ball and T-shaped house.
Okay, so here's where you might see some divergence. So, Morph Ball right here, as you're just about wrapping up the Village of Outcasts overworld, and then there's Thieves Town. A lot of people would be not at all comfortable doing Thieves Town with no sword, with green mail, and with this few hearts. Your saving grace in there is the fact that you have a cape and some magic. So you could try to do like Hammer Blind and then switch to cape when you're trying to dodge. I'm not a fan of that, so I could totally see someone maybe skipping out, like Front of Thieves skip out, or any kind of reset to Super Metroid here, and just do this with a flute or something later when you've got the loadout that makes it fast and efficient.
I think it's going to depend on what they find here in the front of Thieves Town. If they find 3 of the items, then I think.
If you find the various suit.
Oh, there you go.
That was a good check. All right, so glad we at least walked inside.
I think that makes a pretty good chance that Silverrain is not going to finish Thieves. She's probably going to peace out.
Oh my god, you're joking. Let's talk a little bit about Super Metroid Go Mode, because we're almost there. Super Metroid becomes almost entirely clearable when you have 2 suits. You just need a little bit of height gain and like Speed Booster, which sometimes Speed Booster is also your height gain. The Grapple Beam, as said before, does open up Wreck Ship. The suits give us all of Upper Norfair, all of Meridia that's not speed locked. You can gravity jump into Lower Norfair if you want now. Like, 2 suits is very powerful.
Yeah, if you have both suits in Thieves Town on your bingo card, definitely check that off. Oh, that's I'm really glad that neither runner got that Varia suit and left.
So that what are they called? The horses. Someone just told me this the other day. Heck. Well, anyways, the red horsey thing hit Silverrain. I thought she was going to take the unintentional death warp there and be like, "I've got 2 suits, I'm going SM." But it looks like she is actually determined to get deeper into Thieves Town right now, despite having already plundered 2 really pivotal go mode items.
I mean, I will say with the hammer, as much as hammer blind sucks, you know, at least you know you're not going to be leaving an item here.
Yeah. I guess if you get down as deep as the big chest, you can kind of verify, all right, have I found all the items or am I leaving one behind on blind? Because that is kind of a feels bad if you know it's like, oh, it's crystal blind, I should have done it, there's an item. But yeah, I'm not that great at low percent link to the past, so I wouldn't feel super confident back in here, especially without a full magic refill. Ivan, though, proceeding apace. He is just a few rooms ahead here. He also has that Skull Woods check under his belt. That's why you're kind of seeing them line up despite Silverrain's short death.
A Zazak. I knew as soon as somebody said it, I was going to be like, I knew that.
Yeah, I like the suggestion from fellow tournament participant Hatch. Oh, wait, hang on, half magic. So let me interrupt that thought really briefly. Half magic plus cape suddenly makes me feel super good about this blind fight because that's a lot of time you can spend just like running around dodging things with your cape. You get a full magic refill off the back of it to boot.
It is worth noting that you can't attack with their current loadout with
That's
the
right.
cape out, so they will have to switch to the hammer.
Yeah, so a little bit of menu strats, but that would be the safest way. But as Hatch in chat was saying, you could try, and if you die, you know what, you just come back here for go mode.
Yep, once you get escort blind to the boss room, she will stay there, so if you leave and come back, she is still there.
Though if you do die, you'll come back, it'll be an unscripted fight. Not that that matters that much. I think the script versus non-script is only super relevant in the early game when you are trying to like make the fight as easy as possible. Chat points out also that if you have a cape, you can grab a wall and just take no damage, so that's something you can do between rounds. But Thieves Town is just giving and giving and giving.
Jeez.
The 4th item is a sword, and now we can use our cape with a sword.
Yeah, now blind should be no problem at all.
Wow, I'm jealous of this run. It's like it funneled you here, and then it gave you everything you could want. Like it's not being mean. It's a nice seed.
Yeah, but seeds like this always make me worry that what is it hiding from us, and where is it, and why is it on shack?
Yeah, exactly. It's the red cane, and it's on that shack tool that we can't really easily get to right now. You have to do a gravity jump. Ivan, following the blind script through 2 rounds here, hasn't taken too much damage, but is bringing out that cape for safety.
Because I think he was using the hammer a little too. I could swear I saw him swing the hammer at blind.
Yep, and nicely done. That's 1 heart left for Ivan, who finishes off blind for the map. Silverrain starting out also with the hammer now. Maybe hasn't remembered the sword that was so most recently acquired.
Silverrain did really get that item, right?
Yeah, I hope.
Like, I actually wasn't watching, and I'm kind of thinking that maybe Silverrain skipped that chest.
Oh goodness, that would be unfortunate. No, there's a sword and equipment. Yep.
Okay, good.
And with 2 hearts remaining, Silverrain has completed blind, so really the runners are just neck and neck, and that's a hot reset to Super Metroid for Ivan. Totally understandable, because Link to the Past does not have much left.
He kind of orphaned the dig game, which I think is interesting.
No, they both did dig game. They did south route across the west of the beginning of Dark World.
Oh yeah, duh.
Alright, Ivan immediately sequence breaking the gauntlet. Pretty standard play, honestly. It just makes your criteria route much simpler. It means that you don't orphan the item in the center of gauntlet, and you can get the back on the way rather than scouting the back and then being like, oh, crud, I wanted to go there anyways.
Yeah, and gauntlet's a lot less dangerous with both suits. It's still dangerous, but it's not that dangerous.
Yep, and I guess there's probably not too much difference here. It's maybe a matter of seconds, and also depends which direction you want to go first. But Ivan took advantage of the randomizer feature where when you save and quit or you make any portal transition, you get a save at Samus's ship in Criteria and go right there. Whereas Silverrain opted to use the portal, which puts her into the Criteria shaft, the parlor, I believe this is called, right next to the Omega missiles check, and is actually headed down in the opposite direction, going to Blue Bryn.
Which makes sense. Ivan knows what's in the two early accessible locations in Blue Bryn, whereas Silverrain did.
Yeah. I also think you tend to see Brinstar routed pretty much the same way in most standard seeds. Like, people do what Ivan is doing. You start kind of top left and make a counterclockwise loop.
Yeah, I feel like the meta is kind of a skip Brinstar. I feel like the meta has been going in that direction where folks will really put off Brinstar, hoping they never need to go there.
Yeah, skip Brinstar is high risk, high reward. It takes about 20 minutes to get through it all, but it's also the most total items for one area in the game. So the trade-off is like, yeah, maybe you miss like silver arrows or something, like not in this scene in particular, but you could miss like some quality of life stuff, but maybe there's no progression there. And if you don't go, there's no bosses, so you actually never need to go. You also have to say that like the seed did just give you double suits. So Brinstar is not the highest priority place, it's just the safest play. Ooh, and is Ivan going to get... Ooh, nice. Ivan got a little quick drop there down that crumble block to get the item underneath the Norfair... Sorry, where are we? The Brinstar Reserve Room's Falling Gates. Yeah, that's a trick where you can get that item without Morph Ball.
That's one of those things that looks easy, but is really hard to pull off.
Agreed. Ooh, this is alright, cool. So Silverrain doing a one and done route there out of Blue Bryn, went all the way to Billy Mays and is not interested in backtracking, so gonna head to the ship and maybe proceed with a more standard route from there.
Meanwhile, Ivan found Space Drop. So that's pretty much, aside from energy tanks, that's Super Metroid Go. Well, I guess they need ammo and be.
Yeah, that's still kind of ridiculous though. Like, the amount of accessible space is just crazy. That's in the nearby area, that's Ship Peeps, but also in the bigger term, that's Lower Norfair, that's Golden Terizo, that's the ability to get out of the plasma room. We don't have a way to kill any plasma birds yet. It's just all kinds of stuff just opened up. Silverrain also did show off some of those proficient delayed wall jumps there to get up the gauntlet and do the same sequence break as Ivan, so we'll have a clean route here. And that's honestly, I'm really impressed by the unique take on Brinstar. I don't think I've seen the Billy Mays and reset plan. That kind of cuts out the middle of the sort of double loop that you do through Brinstar in a traditional run, and I guess maybe it orphans the shaft supers check a little bit.
I think that was a really smart play. Like, I'm with you. I don't think I've seen that, but I really like the play.
Heart container, if we get it, okay, cool. I was gonna say, if we get this, we're happy. If we don't, sometimes you fall down this gauntlet and you're like really sad, but I wouldn't have been too worried about that. I've been going for the back way into Spore Spawn, who you will not see killed in this randomizer, usually.
Yeah, if you're watching SMZ3 and somebody kills Spore Spawn, something has gone very wrong.
Ivan does a double take at that red boomerang, opts to pick it up. That does help with hitting some switches in Zelda. Also, it's our first way to check the stun prize in the game, and stun prize is a fixed drop that every normal enemy will give in Link to the Past.
It also can help with splash deletion, which I would suspect Ivan knows how to do.
Yeah, he probably does. He runs just super duper like hell rando seeds of Link to the Past.
Gets the wave gate on the first try.
Question in chat from Desolon: is there any scenario where spore spawn is required? No. Combo Rando has no way where you can be forced to route through spore spawn. The logic says that you shouldn't have to go to a one-way check to get the item that would get you out of there. So that includes going through spore spawn to get your first power bombs.
We got a mushroom in Big Pink.
And a very welcome energy tank at Charge Beam. They don't have much energy yet.
Yeah, two tanks in reserve is not a lot. That was a pretty swag power bomb Ivan just dropped there.
Oh yeah. So now he'll catch up on the rest of Blue Brand that he did not see before, and maybe with that bevy of power bombs, we might even have enough spare to check Shaft Supers, though it is a bit of a slow check. Silverrain picks up her space jump, so now they're evened up on those crucial movement items.
I'm glad both runners picked up Spazer. I definitely think with the lack of a fanfare in Super Metroid, you'd be silly not to pick.
Yep, it's a bit of a meme beam, but honestly, I think it amps up the beam from like 20 to 60 or 20 to 80 or something like that for shot damage.
It's a pretty big increase. Yeah, I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but
we also already have double medallions, so 2/3 potential coverage for either of Meyer or TR, which are both crystals today. So while they're going over territory that the other runner has checked, let's talk a little bit about where our items can take us. So this rando loves to send you signals. The item placement algorithm is pretty deliberate in its placement, where it will, have an item open up another sphere of items, which opens up another sphere of items, and so forth in the fill logic. So you'll often see someone get a gravity suit and be like, oh, the next progression is in Meridia. It is not always the case, but it is very frequently the case that you can see that as you play through seeds. And so I'm thinking that the combination of Varia, Space Jump, and Gravity really wants us to go to Lower Norfair to find something. So that's my call.
yeah, and I mean, really, I feel like if they find another energy tank, they can get through Ridley. I want to say that any percent is usually 3 tanks on Ridley.
Yeah, I know Ivan would be comfortable with that. I'm not sure how low percent Silverrain would do a full clear of LN. There is a kind of a, gambly sort of play you can make where you go LN for items, but you pass by Ridley and just do the escape portion, and then just save Ridley for later when you've got a more sure kill. Our super missile count is good, right? Like we can almost kill Ridley straight up with supers, but the health is not looking great, and no super attack, no plasma, so it's going to be hard to get through the regular enemies on the way through.
Yeah, I also think there's a pretty good argument to be made to hold off on Lower Norfair because that gets you to Meyer, and you might not want to do Meyer with your current loadout in A Link to the Past.
Yeah, maybe waiting for Kane. Oh, speaking of, well then, what a scout for Ivan. So we were saying earlier that this check is now kind of outpathed for Silverrain.
So, are you sure that you can't tell us who won this match? Because I'm starting to think you actually are.
Boy, yeah, those are really strong signals. If you've run this game enough, or you've commentated or watched it enough, you know what information advantages and what particular items seen will put a runner into a lead. And I think Red Cane is one of the hard enough to find items, and Shaft Supers is one of the seldom enough checked spots. And I think Ivan has just opened up an information lead in this game. So yeah, the question is where Speed Booster is. Speed Booster can be anywhere but on Vitreous or in Turtle Rock or behind a key-locked Cold Stare. Or not key-locked, Samaria locked, but key on Cold Stare, you know what I mean. So in a roundabout way, that's actually a really nice spot for Kane because it means speed won't be on Laser Bridge. Alright, and this should be the south route down towards Kraid and Spazer and so forth for Silverrain. Ivan, meanwhile, probably going to go down Red Tower and do the same. Oh yeah, and that grapple, that's early access here to the X-ray scope check, and with Varia, this is pretty safe. Even if we fall, the spikes aren't going to do much damage. Oh, we have Space Jump too. I forgot about that. Alright, so this is a very free check. Only thing that could make it easier is Screw Attack, so you wouldn't have to stop to kill the waivers. Alright, and we're back out already. Ooh, there's a lamp. Alright, so lamp is not a must-have in this particular seed. I think for these runners, we already had a fire source in the form of a fire rod that would light torches for us. Lamp is basically quality of life. It lets you see in the dark, but I think most runners at this caliber, well, there's a Screw Attack, another quality of life item. Most runners in the bracket stages here would be comfortable with doing Link to the Past Dark Rooms, but not going to be an issue as long as you head towards Wrecked Ship sometime before doing Mire and TR. And Screw Attack, that is one of those things that we said is going to make Lower Norfair real doable. So Wrecked Ship, honestly, already paying off for Ivan.
Yeah, Screw Attack's a nice find.
Just single arrow of destiny at Spazer. Honestly, a fitting item to put in the slot for the Mean Beam.
Yep, Screw Attack, of course, is the most damaged. I'm pretty sure it's the single most damaging attack in Super Metroid. It does like 1,000 damage or something ridiculous.
Yeah, I think it one-shots everything that can be killed. Alright, we got a Fantoon fight here for Ivan. Should be pretty proficient kill here. We'll see. Okay, we got a slow pattern to start out, so Fantoon can have fast, medium, or slow patterns, and then close its eye quickly or slowly. And it looks like we got the eye open long enough there to get in a good number of missiles, maybe 6 total in that round for Ivan, 6 or 7.
Yep, and Ivan should be pretty comfortable with this Arceus fight with his 2 energy tanks and both suits.
And yeah, just really proficient here, Dopplering, setting up the boss here to come back at the right height so that more missiles can be pumped in before the invincibility frames wear off. Meanwhile, Kraid over here on Silverrain's screen, gonna attempt the quick kill. Ooh, alright, got 2 supers in, so not quite enough. Didn't freeze the mouth at the perfect moment, so we'll be getting the full Kraid fight. While Argus is down for Ivan.
Also, Silver's just out of supers, so she's gonna have to use regular missile. Getting bodied by these hands. Or not hands, the claws.
Yeah, the hands, the gun hands. Handguns? Whatever they are. Kraid is honestly like one of the more imposing bosses in this whole combo rando, and yet is so weak. Like, that boss is huge and has gun hands, and yet goes down to 3 supers in a missile.
Yeah, I think Kraid is the largest boss in the combo randomizer. I guess it's what they say, you know, the bigger they are, the harder they fall, or something like
Hmm. And he had a whole library stashed behind him because we've got literacy, folks.
So that does put Desert as fully completable, unless it's boots lock.
That's right. Yep. While our tablets remain hidden behind the mirror, or in the Ether tablet's case, the hookshot. And that's just for reading them. We still need another sword to actually check a tab, like acquire a tablet's item. But yeah, after holding hands through the first, gosh, like 40 minutes of the seed, this is really the first major route divergence. Silverrain went south, Ivan went north. Ivan so far rewarded with a lamp and a screw attack. Silverrain rewarded with a book. You know, neither of those are doing a lot for us yet in terms of the total number of additional things we can accomplish. Ivan has opted to reset out of the back of wreck ship E-Tank, a very common play to save there and scout that item.
Which I think that I like that play in the combo randomizer because odds are it's junk.
Yep, there's no notion of major and minor locations like there are in some solo SM randos. What's that?
Was
I think
that
it was a
wave?
whistle back. Or wave. Yeah, I don't know. Silverrain just barely saw it, but clearly knew enough to decide on whether or not it's going to be acquired.
Like if she skips it, it clearly was nothing. If she doesn't skip it, we'll find out what it is.
Yeah, now going to Meridia before wreck ship is going to mean Silverrain doesn't have the screw attack, so unless plasma is picked up here, or charge, or in the kind of a trickier version, speed booster, Silverrain won't be able to take an item out of plasma beam. Oh,
Yeah,
and that's actual wave there. Ivan just picked up in the attic, so it was not wave at Crab Supers.
That's making me think it might be plasma then. Like it looked like a beam kind of statue to me, anyways. I'm probably wrong.
I guess Silverrain's routing will show. So with no speed booster, you would probably go right here, which is space jump. So by going through the left portal, I think that means Silverrain wants this item. And yeah.
Ivan with some nice mid-air morphs there to check the wreck ship reserve item. Charge beam.
Oh, fantastic. All right, so Silverrain, not going to have to worry about those couple of missile packs left behind. We can now safely kill any boss without soft locking. Charge beam, very useful on Botwoon, Ridley, and Motherbrain 2.
Yep, and charge Spazer is a decent combo, and I mean, just very likely she'll get the wave beam.
Yeah, now wreck ship so far, again, nothing critical. Quality of life, and I would argue very high quality of life items in the form of wave, screw, and lamp. But you know, wreck ship, so far it looks like it could be go mode material. And the lamp is on the way, so like, whatever.
I'm gonna get a watering hole check here while Ivan goes bolt.
Yep, Ivan's putting it all on the table here. He wants that perfect 300. He needs to start it off with at least one strike, and then get exclusively strikes the rest of the way.
Silverrain does pick up the shield.
And heart container too.
I
And
find
Ivan gonna shoot some robots, and the robots are blocking a more missile.
I never. What are those robots doing?
You know, they're roboting. They're dancing? I don't. What would you do if you were stuck in wreck ship for your entire life?
I mean, I guess it's like, why were they even there in the first place? I just have so many questions about Super Metroid.
You know, I think the whole thing is just kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy. They were all like, yeah, Samus is going to eventually come here and get the items, so we're going to put the items here for Samus.
It's like the Gonk droid in Star Wars. Like, what is the point of that thing?
Ooh, this looks like a good setup already. Is it? Ooh, no, okay. That was maybe a pixel high. Yeah, that was like a pixel high or something. This is going in the wrong direction here. Silverrain's trying to set up the snail clip without high jump, and unfortunately has missed it on both go-arounds here, so it's going to reset the room.
I like the suggestion in chat that the ship crashed because the robots couldn't drive it because they have no arm.
they're like tiny T-Rex dinosaur robot arms. Okay, this looks good. This has got to be it right here for Silverrain.
Another energy tank at Alpha with power bombs and a heart container.
It's like a pixel low. Oh my god. My eyeball test is clearly off here. I blame the fidelity of restreaming a Twitch stream.
Yeah, my COCOM last night, Ancient Gamer. It's you can line it up with the dots in the.
Yeah, I mean that's what I do if it's on my own screen. But you know what? It's all bets are off when it's this fidelity.
I do love Ivan just went down Red Tower with Screw Attack, and I do love that you can just bust through all those platforms.
Oh, it's so satisfying, and you hit a couple of the enemy names are my.
I believe I believe those are Rippers.
Yeah, you hit a few of the Rippers along the way. All right, Silverrain might, if this check is not coming, and I know that like races have been won or lost on the back of this particular check, might want. Oh wow! Last minute, get the flute.
Wow.
Okay. All right. Wow, that was like the 6th setup there. Had to wait for the snail to come back around to the left. That flute's going to be enormous, especially for like ease of getting back to Meyer later if mitts are late.
You were about to say she should move on, and then she got the.
Yeah, I hadn't seen a scout, right? I don't know if she went around to look at the item from the left side first. If I had seen that flute, I'd be like, you're staying there until you get that flute, because the flute's going to buy you back all the time.
Ivan picks up the single arrow of destiny in the Spazer location, which I think that's a funny place for the single arrow.
All right, now without Ice Beam or Speed Booster, we are relegated to just sort of this half Meridia clear here. In fact, that's even a reset there. Silverrain not interested in going all the way to Shack Tool. Maybe feels like she spent more than enough time on the snail clip and doesn't want to go do an out-of-the-way check cut. And it'll just be left sandpit and done.
Yeah, that's a bit of a gamble.
I think Silverrain understands that, like, Ivan being the veteran SM runner he is, you know, known for his high tier of execution, she might need to cut a few of the out of the way checks, you know, maybe skip something here or there just to buy back some time and make sure it stays competitive.
Yeah, no, I think that's a lot, makes a lot of sense.
Oh,
wow.
All right. So Meridia was absolutely the play because we've got out of logic, granted, flute, and we've got an in logic mitts, which is going to do a whole lot. It's going to give us Smith sequence and, well, maybe not yet. We don't have hookshot for Darky's Death Mountain. We also don't have flippers to make Ice Palace logical. But, I mean, the combo, right? The out-of-logic combo of the flute and the mitts is the huge one, because that you can go down and check Meyer's shed, you can get the Meyer medallion information, and you've got easy access to Lower Norfair, which has been in logic.
Interesting that now she's going to check. She found those bits, and now she's checking Shack.
Yeah, I don't think I super agree with this. Like, of the combination of like checks and resets that you want to do and which way you want to leave the pits here, I think right to Shack Tool and then reset to left is probably your most likely scenario, because you have to assume in each case that you're not going to get an item, right? Odds are you don't find something either left or right side. So if you're not going to find something right side, try not finding it, and then go back left and keep what you get on the left. In this case, the Titan mitts.
Yeah, it makes me feel like she got those Titans mitts and was like, "Wow, Meridia's loaded. I bet Shaq Tool has something."
Yeah, that could be it. It could be because she pulled off the snail clip and then immediately got the mitts, now feels a little bit of ahead for having routed Meridia at this juncture, and says, you know what, I actually can afford to take the time to go in and out of Shaq Tool. And yeah, chat is just going nuts here. We're getting a pre-hour Shaq Tool check. They couldn't be happier. I think Shaq Tool only rivaled by the pedestal in combo rando for hype checks for the fans.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah, chat's on Shaq Tools 1 through 4 already. Just all the emotes.
What?
Hello?
Silverrain, please.
Alright, needs to get out. You know, that might be a cropping thing. It could be that Silverrain can actually see a little bit more than we can. So I could maybe talk behind the scenes about that, because she has scouted. Yeah, in fact, you can see it on our minimap compared to Ivan. She has scouted a couple things that we didn't get full information of as casters.
Yeah, I actually just noticed the minimap thing. Yeah, you can see she clearly, compared to Ivan, is not cropped quite. But whatever was that Shaq Tool, we don't know what it is, but we know it was junk. And as we hit the hour mark on this race, I did this once already, but apparently my headset turned off. Please give these runners a follow. I believe the bot is still busted. Oh, nope, there it is. Sweet, the bot's fixed. So all you gotta do is click those links and hit the follow button. It's free, doesn't cost anything. They're putting on a good race. This has been a really enjoyable hour, and anticipate the rest of the race is going to be just as close. Please give a follow to our tracker, Zaru. I'm just never going to get it. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. And please follow my co-commentator, Cheesenator, who's been a good time to cast with. Sorry, I saw your message pop up. I wanted to make sure it wasn't disconnected again.
No. Happy to have you all here watching this exciting combo rando match. We're an hour in. Ivan is making her first trip up Death Mountain. We're going to get a look at the outside and inside of Spectacle Rock, which is this lovely, like, dumbbell-shaped pile of rocks up here that you can go into to see bombs, apparently.
So we got bombs and shield. That's not likely Ivan's going to come back for that anytime soon.
A little bit of an inverted route here through high jump as Silverrain takes the north route instead of the south route. Ivan with the lamp with the rare the in-vision save of the old man. Old man is rescued in combo rando in the dark way more often than not.
Yep, the old man save and quit point is, I'd say, even more important in this mode than in normal Link to the Past, because it puts you right there in the business center of Norfair.
Alright, so nothing else here to do on Death Mountain, kind of blocked off. Ivan is going to reset to house. That gives him a handful of options. What is he gonna make? He could be doing Pyramid Ledge up to Catfish from this point. We can't check, nope, he's going Desert. Yeah, he's gonna take the book from Crate and go Desert. That makes sense, especially since he didn't check Agina early on, so there's one extra check he can make here. Actually two, because he'll be able to acquire what's on the Desert Ledge.
Yep, of course we don't know. Desert may end up being Boots locked. Boots may end up being in Desert.
So Ivan putting off Meridia, he's gonna miss out on some things that make the world a little bit more efficient to clear that Silverrain picked up. But hey, you know, Silverrain's got to do some stuff in the dark that Ivan gets to do in the light, so maybe those things cancel each other out.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say, is there's an interesting kind of dichotomy between Silverrain has kind of more progression in the mitts and the flute, but Ivan has more quality of life items in a way with screw attack and the lamp. Oh boy, Silverrain.
Oh, that's not too costly. Because the old man is already rescued, that death sets you back, 10 feet and a couple of screens. Oh, but actually just gonna use that to death warp to Sanctuary, so we're off to probably Smith sequence, hammer pegs.
Hashtag intentional.
Yeah, totally meant it. Did it on purpose. Never in doubt.
Yeah, as Chad's pointing out, Mr. Bus Driver. I like the name.
Oh yeah, activate that.
Silverrain's going to activate the flute.
That's right. We will get to hear the official Link to the Past national anthem, and in just a few moments here, all rise.
And as the national anthem finishes, I'd like to remind you to check out our sponsor, Rank1.Global. They're the reason you get to hear that amazing high roll national anthem. They are doing a cash prize for the top 4 runners. You can find the 2 profiles of our runners below their name.
Yes, and after that, you can also check out the bracket for this tournament at challenge.com/2020 SMZ3 1v1 and see who's gonna face who next. The winner of this match will go on to face Andy, I know, who's probably a favorite out there in chat.
Never heard of him.
Nah, what did he do? Did he win last year? What's that? Winning the last tournament? Oh, come on.
Yeah, I think he won the last SMZ tournament and last year's Link to the Past tournament.
I mean, Link to the Past has like 12 tournaments a year. I can't keep track.
That's fair. That's fair.
Alright, Silverrain, back at it with flute activated, is now going to go up and do those spectacle rock checks while Ivan clears out desert. Got some E-tank, that's not bad. We're still low on E-tanks.
And if you are watching this and thinking, boy, I'd love to play this, you can just go to samus.link. And that is where you can find the SMZ3 randomizer. Highly recommend if you're interested, you give it a shot. It's a lot of fun to play. It can be highly frustrating sometimes as well.
Yep, you can join us in the Discord, ask all the questions that you want as a new player. Strongly encouraged. It's a great community, and they put on tournaments like this. Alright, so Silverrain resets to SM. We're at the ship. This is probably a wrecked ship play. I think maybe she feels like her prospects in Link to the Past haven't improved that greatly since she was last there. Smith sequence, as said, sequence broken ice palace, like, yeah.
And that is a shield on top of Spectacle Rock. It's a progressive shield for Silverrain. Right now it was the red shield. For Ivan it was the Fisher-Price shield.
Yeah, shield's not actually highly sought after in this rando. They do provide some protection from certain bosses and enemies, but speedrunners just hate the lag.
Yep, somebody should get Fisher-Price on the phone and talk about a sponsorship.
So, with the items in hand, I still like Lower Norfair. I have for a while. That hasn't changed. I could totally see something like Flippers or Hookshot being down there. I also like a dip into Pod. I think we could be in a scenario where if it's not logical double dip of Pod, Pod would have an item that makes you happy that you went there without bow anyways, even if you do have to come back.
Yeah, I think the big question is how comfortable energy tank-wise are these two runners in Lower Norfair. Like, I think Lower Norfair is the play, but for Silverrain with only 2 energy tanks, I can understand why she doesn't would rather do wreck ship.
Yeah, and Ivan, he doesn't have a fast way down there, so I think if you could crisscross them, right, if you could give Ivan Silverrain's items, Ivan would be happy to do it.
Silverrain finds her 20 bucks in the spooky missiles and says no thanks. Spooky missile. Ivan heading east.
We have a mushroom, right?
Yeah, that's what I think he's gonna turn in that mushroom.
Yeah, there are a number of like. Oh, wait, we're not. Oh, we don't have flippers. We're walking across the bridge. Okay, now I see it. Yeah, this is a way to go to the mushroom turn, and it really stinks to get here without flute or some other conveniences. My preferred route is the fake flipper down below the house to that little whirlpool near the Dark World portal.
Yeah, no, I think that's an excellent route. I'm curious if he's gonna keep what this item is. Power bombs? Nope, he says nope and reset.
Okay, because he knows where the red cane is, but we haven't seen a magic powder. So that could be him saying, you know what, I want to keep this for fake powder.
Meanwhile, Silverrain has Argus about half dead. Again.
Yeah, sounding positively elephantine today. Nicely
And
done.
down he goes.
Alright, Ivan has options. What are his options? His options are... Oh, right, because he hard reset. His option is literally just walk back through the portal. Okay, cool. We are off to somewhere. Is this a Meridia play? Because Ivan is also kind of walled off. Yeah, it's a mountain cave. I think he's going up through Meridia from the bottom. So he's just a few minutes away from Charge Beam, Mitts, and probably the Snail Clipped Flute.
Yeah, the question that's really is where is that speed booster gonna be?
Yeah, so Speed Booster, we established earlier, because it locks Cane, it can't be in certain places. Locking Flute means... I don't think it means anything because we already have Logical Mire area access.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I don't think locking the flute means anything. I think all we can deduce is that it is not on Vidi or in Toro.
Yep. And that is one thing I love about playing and commentating this randomizer is the kind of things you can infer after you know the logic pretty well, because you can save yourself a lot of trouble not looking in places where items can't be. It's actually surprisingly valuable.
Silverrain's going to be doing the save and reset for the wreck ship energy tank. Ivan's heading to Mama Turtle, killing all the pirates on the way.
Yeah, he's going to kill enough pirates to make up for the none that Silverrain was able to kill. And then the pirates they're the reason we're in this whole predicament anyways, right? Like, the reason that we've got to find all these 316 items and defeat Mother Brain and whatever is because the pirates were up to some shenanigans.
Well, and Ganon. Don't forget about Ganon.
Oh yeah, he was scheming too, I suppose.
And Gooba90 in chat asking, and maybe chat can correct me on this, but I do not believe mirroring to Landmo behind the liftable rocks is in logic, although I'm not sure that I've ever seen
that is, and in fact, I've seen combo rando seeds where the first glove was on Landmolus through Lower Norfair portal and then a mirror.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there's all kinds of fun things that can happen in combo that can't happen in the vanilla rando. Most notably, like either progressive glove or both of them appearing in that southwest portion of the Dark World.
Attic with screw attack and space jump is so fun.
Oh yeah, just walloping those enemies and not getting interrupted by the sparks.
Silverrain's about to pick up her wave beam. Oh, Ganon is definitely working with the pirates in this game. They're in it together, for sure, 100%.
Ooh, Ivan doesn't even want that full heart container. That's like 4 pieces of heart all in one check, and he still doesn't want it.
Yeah, that doesn't really surprise me.
Silverrain is not. Question mark going to scout the speed booster locked item here. Might have forgotten or might not feel confident in doing the what do you call it? The little midair morphs in that tight space. I guess you can scout it without having to do the Shine Spark in the back area here, which will save you the trouble of doing those midair morphs.
Ivan's gonna go for his snail clip. In this game, the flute takes you to 8 places in the light world. It's the same, very similar to the flute in the original Legend of. Ivan says, "Get out of here, snail."
I think he's been just a tick high with the snail on either side both times. Ooh, this is looking good. Nice. Alright, so in fewer total attempts, Ivan pulls off the same snail clip as Silverrain, and they both have an out of logic flute. And Silverrain is indeed going to blow up this Kozo statue and run past it to scout out the speed locked item here. We'll need to lay another power bomb to reveal it and not hit those spikes on the way up. And 20 bucks.
Yep, Ivan scouted this the alternative way by doing some quick morphs in midair to get over the 3 pillars.
Ooh, so Ivan goes right side, hard reset right there, not even interested in the shack tool check. So he's got speed on his mind. Maybe both literally and figuratively. He wants to go fast and he also wants the speed booster at some point.
Yeah, so he needs that speed booster, he needs the mirror, he needs hook shot, he needs bow, flippers. So still a lot of outstanding items.
This looks like a quite late red tower check for Silverrain, who did opt to go from Green Bryn down towards Spazer earlier, and thus left these 3 items behind. So a little bit of a catch up here on things Ivan's already seen. While Ivan's gonna get this Titan mitts and probably dip out of Meridia. We have a chat. Question in chat about how to do the snail clip. It's a little bit hard to explain just in words on stream. I would highly recommend a video. There are some tutorials on YouTube. You can also go to Crocomire. Like, there's a website called Crocomire. I can never remember the actual URL to check that out. But it involves getting the snail within a certain set of pixels, jumping on it while crouched, and then just jumping from that point. If you're at the right spot, your jumps will take you up through successive walls. Alright, Ivan is actually routing in. So this is so interesting. Ivan did right side, reset, took the mitts, and said, I still want to check shack tool. So this exact same directions as Silverrain. Very interesting.
Yeah, I put my phone down, or I picked up my phone from it to read an email. And when I looked back, Ivan's doing shack 2, and I'm like, wait.
I mean, so ultimately, you have, as commentators, you don't know exactly what any runner is thinking, but you try to rationalize the plays they make so that they make sense for the viewers. And I think in Ivan's case, again, with I think the execution advantage he has to a degree in Super Metroid, he knows he's got a little extra time to play with. He can probably do more total checks in the time it takes Silverrain to do the same number. And therefore, checking things that are out of the way, like Shack Tool, like Plasma, so you don't lose to them, is like insurance.
Yeah, and I mean, and they still are looking for a good amount of items, so I feel like skipping things when you've got, what do they have, 5, 6, 7 outstanding items is pretty risky.
Yeah, One of the things that you'll see if you play or race the combo rando and the map it's so spread out between the two games, and some locations take so long to get back to, and if you do what we call like isolate or orphan a location, you leave it way behind in a place that takes a while to get back to. When you get to the end of the game and you've got like 10 of those left, but you're still missing an item, then suddenly you've got this unwinnable exercise of I've got to go back and revisit all of these to find my thing. Whereas if you'd knocked out those locations the first time you were there when you were closer, you'd save yourself the round trips the second time.
Yep, and one philosophy that a lot of runners will use is you might have heard us mention spheres. Spheres are kind of how to describe spheres. Spheres are the locations opened up by the items you have. So like sphere 0 is all the things you can get without any items. Sphere 1 is all the things you can get with whatever your first progression is. The point I'm trying to make is that Shack Tool, I think, was pretty close to like sphere 1. Because they found that gravity and they found that space jump and they found that grapple all pretty quickly.
Yeah, the numbers don't mean a whole lot, but basically it was early in the logic. We basically went Dark World into double suits, and we already had grapple, and space jump was Satacoons. All right, so we got the LN play for Silverrain, who has mitts and flute, but this play makes it easier to go for the space jump locked item at Golden Chorizo, so totally a fine route as well.
And she's got charge wave spazer, so she can discharge beam down GT.
Yeah, it will take a while, but that is a way to finish off GT after you run out of supers. Grapple Beam can be used to farm during the fight. It is kind of slow. Either way, there will have to be some extra damage dealt because the missiles are going to miss, and 21 supers is not enough to get it done. Alright, Ivan's back in Village of Outcasts here. He's got mitts now, he didn't have it before. This could be Smith sequence and hammer pegs for him.
That seems like a pretty likely option.
Yeah, I think that the seed is being pretty loud about how, your early sphere of progression led you to those mitts. My thought is that they probably will work better in conjunction with something like a flippers or a hookshot that are going to be down here in Lower Norfair.
Just a heart piece at the space jump locked item.
Ooh, that's a really timely super missile.
30 super missiles is, of course, how many you need to kill
Yeah, Silverrain unfortunately has now missed a bunch of these shots due to the positioning and doing this angle up and to the right fight here, so it's going to be either some farming or just, charge wave spacer as you were mentioning.
She did get quite a lot of supers into GT, so Big Bird should die pretty quick. Your opinion of die quickly might be different than mine, though. So
that took about as long as I expected. That was fine. The Smiths didn't reveal anything super great. Now we're going to use our flute to get back into the Dark World. So this is a mirrorless Smith sequence, which is something you hate to do, but you can get massively trolled in this randomizer by finding the mirror on the lunchbox. So.
This will be our first check of the Meyer shed over here on Silverrain's side.
Also, Ivan is heading back towards... This actually might just be a shortcut here to the east upper Dark World, because he's already... No, this is more Skull Woods. Just straight up more Skull Woods, even though he's been here once before. So Ivan really hellbent here on finding something in this pendant dungeon.
Yeah, which I'd swear he found both items already.
I don't remember. And he's on the wrong side of the world to do the pedestal checks, so we don't even know if pedestal is required yet. That would make this dungeon worthwhile.
I mean, I guess we'll see if I'm remembering. I might be confusing this race with a previous. A lot of rage slashes there.
He was just waiting for the wall master to come grab him because he doesn't have mirror.
Screw attack makes the pillars room nice and easy. Well, screw attack and space jump. Worst room in the game won't be that bad.
Yeah, the thing you're mainly sad to not have here is high jump, because these jumps without it just suck.
Okay, we'll call it mildly inconvenient room. That's our first bottle, isn't it?
Yeah, that's something. That is absolutely our first bottle. And Silverrain there, careful to not fall down the Mickey Mouse room, because that's an unfortunate loop you have to do if you want to go all the way back around. Alright, this is all the way to Mothula. Ivan is committed to this pendant. Or I have one theory, which is sometimes runners mark their pendants and crystals wrong. I think Ivan, being totally, established veteran, unlikely to make that mistake, but I've seen it happen in races to the best, so, a crossed up pendant crystal could be a thing. Maybe you'll see a reaction out of him if a pendant drops into his hands.
That was kind of what I was thinking, but the fact that he checked the under the bridge item first makes me think that there must still be an item in here.
Yeah. And he didn't take the big key and go back to do the chest, which might have been let's gamble on one more item and leave sort of play. So he's really committed to making sure he doesn't miss it.
Hammer Mothula sucks.
Oh, this is.
Oh boy.
He's got magic, but he needs to use the magic for his fire rod, so it's not like he can switch to cape. So this is really, he's just gonna kind of gut this one out. Very good dodging so far. Oh, got sniped by that spike there.
Yeah, I feel like he got a little greedy.
Yeah, switching to the hammer, trying to make use of the hitbox from the top right of Mothula there, but he was also low on magic. Yeah, he's just gonna nope out. He says ultimately not worth. You're not gonna fight Pendant Mothula multiple times for an undetermined prize when there are better options available. Meanwhile, Silverrain, just needs to farm up here using that grapple beam. It has the ammo and has the double suits and the screw attack, so this is a very doable Ridley. She can avoid taking too much damage in the fight. Ridley's tail will hit you through screw attack, but the rest of Ridley won't. And yeah, you just kind of have to avoid it getting into a sort of a tragic scenario where you're just like taking hits and being smashed back into the lava and like getting hit by every pogo and because the Ridley fight can go south real quick.
Yeah, I like the decision to farm here instead of trying to rely on Charge Spazer. I mean, Charge Spazer will kill Ridley eventually, but it's a lot quicker to pump her full of 30 super missiles. Wouldn't be much of a boss if it was us 3.
Alright, and Ivan's going to go grab his purple chest, and then you'll probably see like S and Q to house and a flute from there to 7 to turn it in, because he's already done Stumpy and Digging Game.
Yep, and no mirror, so can't check cave 45, so there's no reason to walk it over there. And Silverrain gets 33 supers and says that's enough.
Alright, here we go. Opens it up with a nice flurry of supers straight into Ridley. Missed one there, but pretty good so far. Nice spot here for this pogo. Missed one more there, got blocked by the tail. We mostly want to, I think, land all but like, oh, this is it. Ridley's dead.
Yeah, I think
Just wait for this
she's
boat
got
to
it.
finish and we're good. Wow, very well done.
Yeah, that was super smooth. That Purple Trust just has an energy tank, which Ivan is not happy about.
Yep, so this is probably going to be him following in Silverrain's footsteps here now, doing the Meyer area play into Low Norfair to get at least a boss kill and TBD on worthwhile items.
He says it's either and knows he can't go in.
And even if we could go in, we have no hookshot, no boots, another entry requirement for Meyer that honestly I forget about all the time.
Good point, I had just completely forgotten about it myself.
Yeah, Meyer, probably a dungeon all low runners are hoping to go mode. It's got a lot of chests that only have 2 items between all of them, and it just kind of takes a while to full clear.
So we're still looking for that speed booster. You and I both think it's going to be here in Lower Norfair, but we're running out of check.
I don't think the speed booster will be here because I think the next item we get has to do more for us. The red cane, like, if we can't get into TR, because I guess we don't know the medallion, and we also don't have access to that part of the Dark World yet, then like, what does red cane actually do? So I think we'll probably see something with a bit more oomph to it next.
Sure, mirror hookshot.
Yep, or flippers. For Ice Palace, right?
And in the Firefly room, we have another energy tank.
A vanilla energy tank. Fireflea's the savior of many runs, such as RBO. Along with that, the one that's usually behind Ridley. So we're getting down in locations. We're not out, but we're getting down. And one unexplored part of the map for both runners is the northeast part of the Dark World, which has the Pyramid Ledge, Catfish, and all the stuff in pod except for the boss. So that's, you know, anywhere from 6 to 7 items that might not be being scouted right now.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it looks like they're both going to roughly do the same thing, so it shouldn't be too much of a time difference between them. But yeah, it kind of looks like, I mean, all that told, Lord Norfair was a bust.
Wow. So very, what? Has there been anything good heat locked?
I don't think so.
Wow. It is very, very weird to me to get a Varia that early that doesn't go anywhere. Gravity gave us mitts.
Gower Tracker, who's doing an awesome job in chat, pointing out we haven't seen a lot of like Bubble Mountains.
Oh, and speaking of the devil, there's our a Go mode sword. Master Sword is the minimum required to complete the game. But yeah, you're right. I guess both runners were planning to do a lower to upper route. Oh no, we're leaving behind full heart containers.
I just can't get behind that.
Yeah, I don't think we have a mail upgrade for either runner, but yeah, I'd never turn down a full heart container. That could be the difference between, you know, a Ganon hug going the wrong way versus shrugging it off. Silverrain came out of Wave Beam and then just jumped straight down over here. I think still has to do the speed booster checks though.
Yeah, I'm a little confused that she didn't do speed booster and is doing this first. I mean, I guess it doesn't make a huge difference, but it still seems like...
Yeah, it might be a little bit of autopilot. When you come out of Lower Norfair, you're usually just jumping down there through Bubble Mountain and looking to get out. We also, we could do Croc. Croc is in logic with the Wave Beam.
Are you always bet on Grot kind of person?
That depends. I think Croc helped me win one of my races this tournament. It also helped me lose one of my races this tournament, so I'm half-half.
Did Silverrain check the speed booster stuff already?
No?
I feel like she had to have, otherwise she wouldn't just leave it.
Yeah, but when would she have checked that and not specifically the other things that are also in Upper Norfair?
That's an excellent question. I guess she might just be banking on there being nothing there. I mean, they are sort of out of the way.
I'm gonna call that one just a little bit of a slip-up / race nerves for now. Locations just sometimes fall out of your head.
A prone who plays this who hasn't checked it out, I do highly recommend Emo Track.
Oh yeah, tracking is absolutely essential. By the way, shoutouts to our tracker in chat, Zeruvian. Tracking for yourself, playing through the combo rando with so many locations and items is just, unless you have the memory like a steel trap, and you've also played both games enough to just memorize all those locations, you usually don't want to try and keep it in your head. It's better to offload it to your tracker.
Yeah, I was when I was commentating with Chad Ronald the other night, he was saying that he just tracks everything in his head, and I was like, wow. I would 5 minutes in, I'd be like, I don't even know what.
And we've got red spooky bosses down for both runners. We know that Ivan won't get anything from Ridley, but Croc is still a mystery. 4 items yet to be seen.
And we are kind of running out of locations, so the progression's got to be coming soon. I think that it's either Croc or those Northeast Dark World checks you were talking about.
And we got Andy in chat scouting his round 2 opponent. You know, doing a little bit of that smart research.
Potentially round 2 opponent, unless you are psychic.
No, he's got the bye, so this winner feeds into Andy in the bracket.
I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
All right, 3 Croc items left.
And sine wave, there's that speed booster.
What a spot for it! Because we have wave, but half the time Croc is locked by speed booster. Please, Silverrain needs to see that speed booster and say something more than, "Oh, great, my flute's back in logic." It needs to scream, "You must go check Shaft Supers. Go back to check the things that you missed in Brinstar.
Oh man!
Also take this bow with you. This is a gift from Crockemeyer, who is today so generous and wise."
Everybody pay your respects to our Lord Crockemeyer, who is generous and wise.
What a croc today. What a croc. I was just coming down off the high of seeing the speed booster and the bow there a moment ago. This is too much.
Alrighty, so just for anybody who's listening and not watching, that was the speed booster, the bow, and the mirror all in Croc.
Yep, and all in the bottom area too. So like you had to wait for the anticipation to build.
Getting all those additional items does make me worry that Silverrain's gonna full clear a bunch of Link to the Past dungeons.
Yeah, I think this could be a case where like Red Cane ends up in the last, dozen or so checks. Because now, what do we need as commentators, chatters, people who have the knowledge of the high level of the seed? We need an ether medallion and a hook shot and flippers. That's it. So lots to be determined. Could absolutely be a Link to the Past. I think best case scenario for Silverrain is that one of those items is at Waterway, so that Ivan has to go back to Brinstar and she has to go back to Brinstar and can loop in the Shaft Supers check.
That's where it looks like she's gonna do the East Death Mountain checks, which, I mean, there's a lot of items over there, can't fault that.
Oh yeah, this is so many things. When you get to do this all at once your first time through, so we got mitts, we got hammer, and we've got... Oh, actually, we're gonna miss Hookshot Cave. Unfortunately, even without boots, actually nothing in Hookshot Caves in Logic, but still, yeah, light side and dark side, you're looking at like 12, 13...
I'm sure there'll be,
14 if you count
I'm
Spike
sure
Cave.
Hookshot will be in, like, Super Bunny Cave.
Yeah, this is gonna be a lot. Alright, so the game's been blown wide open. As we said, we've got East Death Mountain. We got Ivan checking the speed booster location. What is it? It's a missile pack. And 300 rupees.
It's also worth pointing out that Silverrain, as you can tell by her blue tunic, obviously did find a male upgrade somewhere.
Oh yeah, huh. I do not remember that. So, not as big of a deal to miss out on heart containers once we've got a mail upgrade. Ether tablet, able to be done now since we did find that second sword recently in Upper Norfair. Hera is a... Let me look at that. Hera is a regular pendant, so this might be a in and out sort of thing. Just like check the stairs here and check the... No, not even. Not gonna
I
bother.
have a phone call I need to take, so I will be right back.
Sure. And Silverrain will also be right back because apparently Death Mountain, not that interesting. Paradox Cave, who needs that? Super Bunny Cave, I don't know what that is. We're going to the Smith Sequence, Cave 45, Hammer Pegs, Bombo's Tablet Zone, plus a Skullwoods dip, maybe a North Route. You can't do Bonk Rocks or King's Tomb though, so IDK. I feel like we just left behind a lot of items for a few items. Unless this leads us like over to Pod, but we can flute to Pod, so no. This is the Pendant Skullwoods play. Back to front, Mothula first. Boy, the priority on Skullwoods this race for both runners has been very strange. Like unless they each read from the same playbook of like what will happen in the Silverrain Ivan race. Opponent will do Pendant Skullwoods. Opponent will do Pendant Skullwoods. All right. Like, or did they handshake on this beforehand? Oh no, it's a pedestal check. Oh, wow. Wants to know if Hera is required before doing Hera. This is a Galaxy Brain play. I didn't see this coming. Oh, it's an upgrade to arrow capacity. So pedestal is dead. Get out your rip pet emotes in chat. Alright, I could not for the life of me understand where that play was going. So now we know, if we go back up to Hera, it's not worth going all the way to Moldorm. But we got to go to Death Mountain, right? We just noped out of 15 items. 16? Honestly, I've lost count. There are 2 in Hera. There's 1 on the floating island. There's 1 in Spiral Cave. That's already 4. There's 2 in Super Bunny. 7 in Paradox, we're up to 13. 1 in Spike Cave, 14. Ivan is at Croc, so he's made the play. He's about to be rewarded with a bevy of items. He's noping on that energy tank, though. Doesn't want to take the extra time to refill his tanks and so forth later. That would mean for him. For a runner in combo rando, 70 tanks is around where you want to top out, maybe 8. That lets you do the stand-up glitch if you get charging plasma without overcommitting to energy. That's right, Silverrain does not know where Red Cane is. That is still the big information advantage in Ivan's favor. So, Ivan currently has a 1 crystal lead, and that information edge, and is just sort of some Croc items behind Silverrain in terms of exploration. Oh, there was that mail upgrade. Okay, so that was actually A, very recent, and B, one of the other nice items apparently that Croc was hoarding.
Wow, Croc really had everything.
Yeah. So when Silverrain noped out of a heart container, she didn't yet have the mail upgrade that I was chastised for her having. Alright, but we're doing get out your resident sleepers in chat for bootless Spiral Cave.
Bootsless. And did you see what that was?
No, Silverrain stream just lagged out there for a second. Ivan, meanwhile, is going to pick up the 1-2-3 punch here of Speed Booster Bow Mirror in the most stacked Crocomire of all time. Certainly for me. I don't know about for you.
Yeah, I've never. I don't think I have ever seen Crocomire have so much stuff. Like, wow.
I think my lucky star is if I get one item out of Croc, I say like, oh god, at least my opponent has to come here. Not like, this got me halfway to go mode?
Yeah, you think? Does finding all this stuff in Croc does it make you feel ahead, behind?
I think because the items in Croc lock so many things, you're probably like, okay, my opponent was going to end up here anyways, so this is probably a wash. I'm just happy that I've got them now. Because I can get, like, sometimes you search for a long time for just one of each of those things, but there's only so much you can do without the ability to complete Pod and Eastern, the ability to get into Swamp Palace, the ability to collect your Red Cane. And yeah, chat is just loving the fact that we got a Spring Ball in Paradox Cave. Big hype there. And we're going to open up the portal by TR and get that medallion info. Is it double ether? Because if so, we absolutely need to keep hunting.
Well, we still need the hook shot.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, like for medallions.
Okay.
Nope, it's Bombos. So can be opened, cannot be entered. Ivan making a beeline for Chef Supers. He wants his Red Cane. He will feel all-powerful once he wields its legendary powers. Just kidding, he's turning around.
Had a little bit too much fun with the speed booster there.
Yeah. He was just getting excited to like blast through Terminator with Speed Booster and kill all those enemies and be like, you know, actually I don't need to do that right now.
Yeah, I'm trying to send Silverrain by Psychic Thoughts. Go check Shaft Super. That's such an awful location.
Yeah, and I think this, when you have the power bombs to spare, even if you don't have speed, the scout of this item is so valuable in 1v1. It's just like, it can lead to exactly the scenario we're watching play out right now.
Yeah, if you can do the wall jumps, I completely agree with you. My brain cannot process the wall jumps in that room, so I just I can't.
Meanwhile, go ahead.
I was gonna say, it looks like Silverrain's gonna make that pod play.
Yeah, wrap up Pod. It's a crystal dungeon. We have enough items left that you're happy to full clear it. Pod's not a full clear you feel bad about the way you feel bad about full clearing Mire. And Ivan following suit, so we're going to see a lot of runner hand-holding, as we did in the earlier parts of this Seed 2. It got open after the double suits, and then it kind of crunched down to linearity again, because they both went to Croc without much left to do, and got stuff that said, hey, to go to Pod.
Yeah, I'm curious if either of them will finish Eastern. I wasn't counting items, so I don't know if there's an item left in each.
There might be, but there's definitely the green pendant. So either way, like kill of Armos Knights would yield something.
Right. That makes me think that they'll both probably go ahead and do it. It's so quick to get to Armos.
You're right next door to Sahashrala to just turn that right in.
And Pod was bow locked.
That's a good sign for the logic. That means that that bow could be leading us here. So as one does when Pod is totally bow locked, you go right side first. There will be 2 small keys.
Pod has pretty complicated key logic that I can never keep straight.
Yeah. 2 small keys here, and then like I'm pretty sure that frees up the walk-up chest to be something that's not a small key. Can't have a small key in the dark maze ever in rando. Big key can be there. Stuff.
Where were the silver arrows that Silverrain hasn't found?
They
Or
were.
does she-
Oh, maybe it hasn't switched to them because you get the bow. You don't immediately, right? You have to press Y or whatever in the menu.
that was what I was gonna ask. Was did she have them and just not switch?
Mirror here. Without boots, you can't do the sort of bounce back route from the center, so it makes sense. Oh, Ivan also wants a fairy. I didn't know that fairy fountain existed, so TIL maybe for people in chat as well.
Yep, that's news to me.
Chat asking if we can switch to Ivan's sound. They're in the same dungeon. I mean, I don't know if it matters, unless one of them is glitching out or buggy.
Yeah, we're gonna need some more information on why you want that change made, HK. I don't believe you filled out your TPS report either, so if you could get on that thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's too early to call true leads with how many dungeons and how many obscure items we have remaining. We have mentioned that, Ivan has the extra crystal and has the information on the red cane, but like the race can still absolutely be won or lost by a required item in a remote spot, right? Ether at Waterway would make them both full clear both games. So yeah, until someone is substantially ahead and is in like go mode, 10 minutes before the other runner, I don't think it's productive to talk too much about who's in the lead.
It took me like 3 minutes to realize that we had, in fact, changed the audio to Ivan.
Like I said, they're in the same dungeon.
I'm so mad at HK for putting me through the multi-world that he put me through last week.
All right, Silverrain with the aggressive check here of Harmless Hellway for a key. So you can determine whether or not you need to check Harmless Hellway by doing the basement first. If you come upstairs with 2 keys, you don't. If you come upstairs with 3 keys, you do. So Ivan's not going to need to enter that room.
So that's a really easy way. Oh, there's the either.
Oh, well. All right. Ether will not be at Waterway. What could be at Waterway? Hookshot?
Shot could be at Waterway, Boots could be at Waterway, I think Flippers could be at Waterway.
That would be thematic. So either way, pod was required. It's necessary to get into Misery Mire, so both runners should be happy about this full clear. And red mail to boot.
What you did there.
Hee. Goodness. So boots, we haven't talked a lot about the boots. There's still a 1 in 22 chance that the boots are required this seed, so if you really want to troll the runners after they've gotten everything else that they for sure need, you're going to pray for a big key on torch.
Which I mean, statistically, I'm sure it is a 1 in 22 chance, but I feel like the big key is very rarely on that. But that's probably just, I guess, probably just biased because like Rando Room has 4 chests, and so I think Rando Room.
It's easy to think of Stalfos Room and Rando Room and all those as like one chest. So here's a funny thing. Because Ivan had Red Cane, he got to do this puzzle faster than Silverrain, so small advantage there. I say puzzle loosely. I mean, we were talking about, the puzzle level required to beat a 1992 video game. We have chat. there could be progression in a boot-locked overworld location. None that we've seen so far, but we don't know what's in King's Tomb or Bonk Rocks. So certainly boots can end up mattering for that. But as far as what runners could see and know while thinking they're in go mode, the torch in Ganon's Tower is the last one.
Man, that troll room by Ivan was super smooth.
On Master Sword too. And we've got Helmosaur King. Gotta whack his face mask like 17 times or some goofy number. You have a little bit of recoil each time, but Ivan is holding out his sword charge to mitigate that and taking advantage of this extra vertical distance he's getting on the... Oh, look at that. Already knocked it off. Switches immediately to the silver arrows. One shot and done. This is as clean of a Helmosaur King as you'll ever see there from Ivan.
Yeah, did Helmosaur King even get any kind of an attack off?
Tail spun once. Hey, there's the other king. Silverrain opting for the whack and back strat, where you got to keep turning around. Not too much slower though, and getting some favorable movement and attack patterns from Helmosaur King. Mask off, and are we gonna? Oh, no silver. Wait, we have the silver arrows. You just have to press a button. You got them early part of the game. They were in CAC. I think they were in Owen's basement.
I think she might have forgotten.
All right. Well, that's like 8 arrows instead of 1.
And Ivan is not doing that Eastern Palace check. I assume he's going to do Pyramid Ledge and Catfish with the way he's walking.
Yep, and he could... I mean, this is the best time ever to do it, but he can probably route that into Mirror Ledge and possibly to back of Meridia. You can take advantage of that Whirlpool. Yeah, I think to avoid like the extra game transitions, I would probably do Pyramid Ledge, Catfish, Mirror Ledge, or Graveyard Ledge, then head back over to the Whirlpool and go get Dragon and maybe even Plasma.
Need flippers to do Graveyard Ledge?
Wow, I'm just so used to having flippers by hour and 56. Excuse me, chat. I'm thinking of how to clear this game efficiently, and the rando's like, no, you don't get to do anything efficiently.
Fair. I've just been thinking that it's very, needing 2 items 2 hours into the game, the way that the seeds have been lately. I feel like this is a pretty slow.
Yeah, this seed, it feels like the end might drag out. And I just kind of assumed in this region of the game, we haven't done back of Meridia because we didn't have Speed Booster earlier, and I'm thinking in my head, oh, now it's the time, let's go. And speaking of let's go, Silverrain is making a gutsy call here to go all the way to the Armos Knights and collect possibly an item on them, but definitely an item on the Green Pendant.
Yeah, I'm really hoping this Green Pendant turns out to be something for Silverrain.
Really pull this this match up a lot closer. To be clear, it's already close. Like one occasion where you'll see Shaft Supers checked before the very last locations in the game is just by circumstance you need to do a save and quit route out of Link to the Past for whatever reason that sends you back to your ship, and then you're heading back into Link to the Past, and you'll think, oh well, you know what? I'm 2 screens above the Shaft Supers. Why don't I do these now? Hey, Sick Kid has had high jump the whole time, but we got our first bottle pretty late. Mickey Mouse?
I believe that's correct.
So that it stinks to have done so much of SM without high jump, but we'll have it for the escape sequence in Torian.
And Silverrain ran out of arrows, so she's having used hammer strats on Armos Knights.
Oh yeah, again because of not switching to the silvers. So okay, Armos Knights dropped a missile. Armos Knights, I believe, they take the same damage from everything that isn't arrows or silver arrows. Arrows do 2, silvers do like a jillion, but then everything else does half a damage, like boomerang equivalent. So it doesn't matter, you just take it out and start whacking.
Ivan turns his Spazer off.
Maybe he just found it to be inconvenient. Oh, he might be planning to X Factor Botwoon. He's going Meridia front to back here. Shovel.
Green pendant is the shovel. I love it.
All right, yeah, I can dig it. So we're gonna see if there's anything 6 feet under in the flute courtyard. We've already got the flute, so it can't be vanilla. I'm thinking maybe Silverrain's Hopes and Dreams might be under there.
Well, we're about to find out. Chat, I'm curious. Who's got the who's wearing the red mail better, Silverrain or I?
Oh yeah, they have different sprites, huh? Ooh, Hopes and Dreams, rip.
I was gonna say, gonna guess that was not Silverrain's Hopes and Dreams.
And indeed, ooh, nice little one cycle there on Botwoon. Yeah, Ivan takes Botwoon out any percent style with that that beautiful X Factor. That and vanilla Botwoon E-Tank don't need. Goodbye. The X Factor is a trick. There are actually a bunch of special beam combos you can do in the vanilla game, where you have charge beam and one other beam selected, and then you have power bombs on, and you'll consume one power bomb to do like a just kind of a radiating beam effect around you, and a radial, I guess. I'm looking for the word that means it like circles around you.
Spiral.
Spiral, yeah, that sort of thing. And so there's one for wave beam, which is actually super practical for bosses because each one of the hits does a super missile worth of damage. So it turns one power bomb into 4 super missiles, which is amazing in low ammo routes through Super Metroid.
Ivan getting the quarter halfy, bonking his head a little early.
This rando, full of bonks. You can bonk in both games. Big fan of bonks. We can't actually bonk in Link to the Past yet, though. No boots. Ooh, there we go. X Factors again plus the Shine Spark. This is classic any percent attack on Dragon here, though didn't go down in 2 sparks. So Ivan does not get the one cycle of exactly the one cycle of the blob phase, whatever you call the blob phase, but gets it on the last one there. So it has a blue suit and is trying to turn it into a spike suit. I'm gonna just opt to keep the blue suit. This makes it a little bit slower to get out of Dragon, but then you can use it for a free Shine Spark back across the Coliseum. Now, Ivan, he might be really wanting to use the Shine Spark, but a veteran combo move here is actually to save. Yeah, he's going to save. All right, nice. He's going to save first, and this will let him check Plasma and then reset the game if he doesn't like Plasma, and just go out through the Dark World portal.
Yeah, I like.
Well, that was maybe a little bit aggressive of a Coliseum Spark.
Getting the quarter halfy from the other side.
Yeah, I mean he's gotten 2 quarters worth now, so he can go and exchange those for a full halfy in his next run, or half of a. I don't even know. They're worth some amount of halfies. Second bottle here in K45.
That's nice, but definitely not what Silverrain needs. Progression being there would have been pretty good.
Yeah, because Ivan did the Smiths already. So maybe Bombo's tablet here. It's not super out of the way because it's next to a crystal dungeon, but could help. Right, Plasma. This will be the first time to Plasma for either runner. They couldn't get through Meridia in the early game, and we haven't had flippers to go through the back. I do find it hilarious that they both just saw a new unique bottle in the last 2 checks.
I was just gonna point that out. And Bombo's tablet has for us the bug catching net. Womp, womp, womp.
So we've seen a lot of the out-of-the-way checks now. We know Pedestal's dead. SM is full cleared besides Waterway. So we're getting down, as far as the locations where some of our trolliest items can be, like that ether. Wait, we've got ether. Hang on. Like that hook shot. I totally said hook shot. We're getting down in locations where those can be. I'd like to see something in Hera Basement.
Yeah, that's a good location for a trolley item.
Ivan is on Death Mountain. He might be making a Hera play anyways, just because, the options continue to not be great.
I mean, he can full clear Turtle Rock.
Yeah. Okay, alright, I see it. Yes, Turtle Rock, known for its having of flippers.
That's true. I mean, yeah. Meanwhile, Silverrain found the ice beam over in Checkerboard Cave, which is nice.
That's not bad. That helps a little bit in Torian. Speeds up, means you don't have to kill the Metroids with power bombs. Alright, so Ivan, he's going to pass by Hera. It's a pendant. So we'll see just how committed he is to pendant dungeons this game, because Silverrain noped out on account of wanting to know if pedestal is required, but there could just be something just a little quick walk down the stairs in front of Hera here. It's not, Ivan does not give a single quack about Hera today.
Ivan hears your commentary and says, not today.
Yeah, I think that might be balancing out the fact that he spent so much time in Skullwoods.
Might also just be saving it for after he does all this Death Mountain stuff. Because if you go through all Turtle Rock, you don't find anything, then well, you might as well just do it.
That's a good point. Turtle Rock is a required dungeon. There's a lot in there. 5 in Turtle Rock plus a 6th if you count Mimic Cave. And after you get all that information, you know whether or not you can proceed to another crystal dungeon or you have to gamble on pendants again. Chat is going off the deep end with these flippers jokes.
I'm trying real hard to think of a flipper button.
I'm giving you time, but it's okay. It's all right. We've got Silverrain clearing out Desert, going to go to the back now, get her 3rd crystal, which will actually catch her up with Ivan, though admittedly Ivan's probably about to do one more, and he does have Dragon under his belt, so it maintains a boss lead.
Yep, looks like Ivan's going to reel in the rest of the checks here in Paradox.
And his fate in this seed could sink or swim based on finding the flippers in TR.
Hopefully nobody needs a bigger boat. Which I wonder, do Hyruleans know how to make boats?
That's a great question. Maybe this generation of them doesn't, but someone knows all the timelines, can piece together where this falls with respect to Wind Waker. They definitely have boats in that one.
As soon as I asked the question, I think the answer is yes, because I think the Link and Link's Awakening is the same Link from Link to the Past.
Oh yeah, he totally has a boat. And blink and you miss it. Silverrain took out Landmolus, so Crystal down. While Ivan prepares to enter, well, maybe do Super Bunny first, or just knock out TR. I guess you don't even want to leave the screen here if you're going for max efficiency. Because if you're still missing 2 items, it's not like you're going to go somewhere, get your 1 item, and you're like, haha, I'm go moding this dungeon, right? So you're probably full clearing TR regardless. And TR full clear versus go mode, not that different. Meanwhile, Silverrain making a bit of a gamble here, fake flippering to ice. So we know the flippers can't be in ice. We also know that many ice layouts are hookshot locked. You can determine that by where the keys are placed. So depending on the route Silverrain takes through here, she could quickly determine, hey, my hookshot can't be here. That means nothing can. I'm just going to go mode it.
Ivan's gone off the deep end and is skipping that total rock.
All right. Maybe he was hoping for the 1-2 punch in Super Bunny Cave where it had both flippers and hookshot, and he was just like, well. Silverrain going for Master Sword spins here to take out these Pen Gators, which is just not a fun room to clear when you don't have hookshot or Tempered Sword. But bombs, surprisingly, they die in 1 hit to bombs, and the Bombos Medallion, another good option. No red cane in hand. I'm not going to see Icebreaker.
I'd like to talk to the developer who thought that mixing penguins and crocodiles was a good idea.
Yeah, they're like, you know, they're so nice and fluffy and majestic, and crocodiles are like, or I guess gators, alligators, both of them, they're kind of like, they want to eat you. So, you know, how fearful should I be of a pen gator?
I always wanted a pet penguin, like one of the big emperor penguins that are like 3 feet tall.
Ivan is spinning right round, baby right round here in the torture room on the right side of TR because he does not have the hook shot to do the room the fast way. So did the vanilla intended strats. And not even going to bother taking out one of his 2 invincibility items here to get past the... Oh! TR loves to have the flippers, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's living up to the memes.
Oh, wait, no, don't leave. No. Okay, this is just... yeah, this is a crystal. Let's just finish this while we're here. If this were a pendant, like, it would be a different story. Let's just finish it. Doing Laser Bridge, not that slow comparatively. Like, you don't want to be full clearing Ice Palace or whatever to like look for a hook shot when it might have been on Laser Bridge.
I think, yeah, leaving would have been a pretty big mistake.
Silverrain so far picked up the big key and an E-tank. I'm just going to go down, pick up the big chest. And then beyond this, without hook shot, we have, if we don't get a key... Oh, we got a key! Okay. Alright, so Silverrain will need to make her way back upstairs, which you can do through a series of trickery. But that key means this dungeon is not hookshot locked. It's just going to be kind of awkward. But goes straight to Cold Stare. Alright, this is a gamble for sure. Meanwhile, Ivan has got to be super careful here. The Chain Chomps, they came over from Mario, and they've got a bone to pick with Link for whatever reason, even though Mario's been the one who's been jumping on them all these years.
Yeah, they're really untethered enemies.
Yeah, they're chomping at the bit to get their revenge. Speaking of revenge, Silverrain's going to need to probably take out some revenge on Cold Stare here, who is just everyone's least favorite boss. Am I right? Especially with Master Sword. This is a real unfun fight. We do have Fire Rod though in Half Magic, so we could be spamming that Fire Rod, but opting for Hammer and Master Sword strats instead. And yeah, this is a required boss kill. This will be for a crystal. But yeah, I can't help but be a little disappointed with how Silverrain has had some of these better weapons for these boss fights, and then has not used them for whatever reason.
Yeah, I really this is there's some clenching going on. Oh boy.
So, having found one item in Ice Palace, Silverrain gambling that the rest of Ice Palace, even though it's not hookshot locked, it does not contain what she needs. She, of course, knows the flippers can't be here because she fake flippered, but is getting a boss kill out of the way. So if she never has to come back to Ice Palace, that could be time saved. Speaking of good uses of fire rod here, those pokies, went down to a single fire rod shot there. Very convenient.
Another enemy from Mario.
Yeah, you can't go out that way, Silverrain. We're done here. No flips. TR play? No Kane. Right. She needs to do something. What is that something? That something isn't Pot and Eastern, which is where this portal is. What kind of somethings does she have on her mind? We need a red cane.
Yeah,
Where are we gonna get
she's gotta realize she's got that speed booster and check the speed booster lock. I know they suck to go to, but
This is going to be the play to the back of Meridia and Plasma, it's looking like, so unfortunately will not be where she needs to be right now. Ivan going for a Death Warp here to get his hearts back in this middle section of TR. Oh, she didn't do Ice Crumble earlier either. Alright, so this doesn't have to be a key, in fact probably will not be a key here in the roller room. It's usually the case that our last key is on Laser Bridge, but we're still in full clear mode, so we're going to be... Oh, nice heart refill there. Yes, Torsui in chat, samus.link is where you can find everything you need to know to get started on this randomizer. You can play solo, and you can also play with friends with the multi-world feature. Thank you to our lead developer, Total, for putting most of that together, along with the bevy of beta testers and play testers.
yep, multi-world's a lot of fun if you have some friends that you could con into playing.
Yeah, and if you have enemies, play multi-world with them as well and hold their morph ball hostage.
Like Ridley.
Alright, laser bridge clear here for Ivan. He's in fact going to take the safety door. Understandable, considering that we're already bonking into turtles and falling into the pit.
Plus Master Sword, Hammer, Trinex. I mean, I guess with Red Mail and the amount of hearts, it's probably...
Red Rupee, that's not a hook shot. Everything here has to be a hook shot, or I guess a key. We definitely need a key. We also definitely need a hook shot. Everything else, not... Okay.
Wow.
Well, that's the end. All TR had was the flippers, but hey, it had a non-zero amount of Go mode items. Ivan going with pot strats to get through the pokey and anti-fairy switch room here before Trinex, and with only a Master Sword, it's going to be menu strats, I think, to the hammer for Trinex.
Yeah, you're there. And Mike's gaming experiments, I'd recommend joining the SMZ3 Discord. I think that there's occasionally some like pickup multi-world races. What races is the wrong word?
So the Trinex fight here, decently straightforward. You need to hit the heads with the opposite of their element type rod and get 5 hammers, smacks slash what do you call them, temper sword slashes worth of damage, or the Master Sword equivalent of those, which is just twice as many. And then we'll move on to the last phase where we try and kill the third neck of Trinex, who has 3 necks. And this is going to be same damage equivalent as those last ones. So it's like 10 Master Sword slashes, 5 Master Sword spins. And Ivan's doing it pretty safely here, not taking any damage, clean fight. And Silverrain approaches Dragon. Ooh. Magic powder on boss. That's suspicious. I think I'm fluting to Kakariko to check that before I do Ice Palace for sure.
Oh, 100%. I think with the flute, you go check that immediately.
Funny.
Well, I guess you can do Kara.
Oh yeah, that's right. You'd want to finish up Death Mountain, including Spike Cave, before you leave. What I was going to say is, Ivan deliberately kept his mushroom for fake powder, but now he has powder anyways. But it does mean that, you know, if the hookshot ends up being there, it was acquirable some time ago. Alright, Silverrain is out of supers, gonna get grabbed here and go for... Nope, Screw attacked away the blob, so gonna have to wait for another cycle. Alright, blob cycle number 2. Don't screw attack it. Jump, and we got him. Alright, so down goes Dragon, the shrimp is fried, yummy. Hoo-hoo! That's go mode! At 2 hours, 20 minutes, and like 45 seconds-ish, Ivan is the first runner on screen, which is all of them in go mode. Sorry, I'm used to calling 4-way races.
So, yep, so the only... So now if you're a fan of Silver, you're hoping that the boots are somewhere terrible, and that the big key is on the torch.
Basically, because even if Silverrain like goes through the Dark World portal, resets to ship, thinks I sure golly want to go check Shaft Supers, gets her red cane, then she also needs to make the call to go to TR immediately, do TR, get her flippers, and then stay on Death Mountain and go to Spike Cave and get hookshot. So a lot of things have to happen just for her to stay within arm's reach of Ivan, but right now there's really nothing that can happen that will close the gap that doesn't involve another item, like you said.
I mean, I think that short of boots, I think that this isn't going to be close anymore at all. I think Ivan just took a massive leap.
Agree. The nature of this rando is that pretty much after go mode, unless you're doing Master Sword Silverless Ganon, which is like the hardest possible endgame configuration, the rest of the game is kind of scripted. There will be variable amounts of time, anywhere from like, you know, some runners will gain or lose a number of minutes in GT or Torian based on the tricks they can do and how good they get through their gauntlet, but there's not enough there. And your opponent, you would have to know your opponent is worse at those things, and Ivan is going to perform very well, so...
And Ivan's going to pick time up in Ice Palace, assuming he knows how to Icebreaker.
Mm-hmm.
He might pick some time up here if he knows how to dive her down.
So Silverrain, same veteran move there, goes all the way to Plasma, resets back to the save outside Dragon, and should be heading to the Link to the Past portal. Please go through the portal and use that as an excuse to go to your ship and check your speed booster locations. Even if you check Shaft Supers and the red cane isn't enough for you and you go on to check Waterway, at least having the inspiration to go do those two together will keep you progressing forward, which is what you want to see for Silverrain.
I mean, I guess the good news for Silverrain's side is I think she's running out of check. Things that are in logic, I think, are getting pretty slim for her.
Yeah, I think she, because of the way she fluted to Pod Eastern, I think she might have not done Catfish and Pyramid Ledge.
I do not believe she has done either of those checks. Oh, there's a
Looking at the
temper
map,
kill.
we are in the tank, fluting to 5. Kind of, sort of doesn't do anything. We don't have boots, so this doesn't even get us that quickly to the pyramid ledge. You could have just gone to 4 for that. But I guess this is fine.
Yeah, I'm worried at this point that she has forgotten about the 2 speed booster checks and worried.
Yeah, it will depend. I don't know if Silverrain runs with a tracker on screen. That can, of course, be the difference for some runners when you get late into the game and you're trying to keep it all in your brain. Okay, so this is Pyramid Ledge Catfish. So after that, we might be looking at the criteria and Brinstar checks. Meanwhile,
She doesn't. I just checked her. She does not
Boss here.
have a. Oh, hey, it's Fantoon.
Yep. Okay, all the flames are down, so now we just need to get that super missile in, and ooh, not quite enough. Fortunately, not enraged. There we go.
It's the Doppler on that first part there, but cleaned it up nice. And I did just check Silverrain's stream. She does not have a location tracker on her stream, which doesn't mean she doesn't have one. It just means she's not broadcast.
Looks like a dark cross check here.
Yeah, that's fine.
Really.
And as these 2 runners do what they're doing, please take a minute to give them a follow. This has been a good and exciting race. Looks like it's going to be a little bit of a one-side finish, but that's kind of the nature of this rando. Both runners certainly deserve your follow.
Yeah, in chat, our tracker Zeruvian pointing out that Dark Cross was the key. It's been so long that I didn't remember that, and I guess Silverrain did not remember it, or maybe deduce it at the time either. That's a little bit of a feels bad. So S and Q. Are we resetting to SM? Nope. Where are we going? Pendant Dungeons? This could be the Hera play, or the rest of Skullwoods. This is the Walkin' Somewhere play. This is the we're going to SM. Okay, this is Chef Supers. Yep. Which is actually, this is fine. To go through the house here, you actually are already halfway down Parlor towards Chef Supers.
I think it might actually be quicker, considering it takes us you're going the wrong way, Silver.
Yeah, Matt. What face? We're... Oh, ship peeps. Fascinating. Didn't see that early because when she started out her criteria loop, she didn't have space jump.
Man, she has really picked up a lot of energy takes, though.
Ivan working on Meyer. This is go mode, as you like to see it. Because, yeah, just yucky. Meyer's my least favorite dungeon. I've been very vocal about that, so let's hope to get through it quickly. Maybe a big key right here?
Meyer is also...
Oh, baby! Let us go. That is actually the best spot for the big key if you don't know how to hover, or don't have boots but do know how to hover.
Yeah, I think that one so qualifies as a God Meyer. But I would agree with you that Misery Meyer is the worst dungeon in Link to the Past.
Yep, it's right there in the name, and you know what? Believe it when it tells you.
Silverrain, turn around. You gotta go down.
On waterway before Shaft Supers, or else this is the waterway to purposefully route Shaft Supers from the bottom up mode, or this is Kill Mother Brain because I don't know what the heck to do mode. Was this Kill Mother Brain because I don't know what the heck to do mode? Alright, Silverrain's going to enter Torian atypically early, though we saw this actually today from one of our other races.
Well, good news is this is going to dump her out right into the shaft.
Bad news is that Mother Brain drains all your ammo and you won't have any power bombs.
Good point.
Yeah. Like, I've thought about that route so many times before. Like, oh, wouldn't it be really spicy if I did Mother Brain and then check Chef Supers, and you get out and you're like, whoops. Also, no plasma, so opting in for a little bit of a slower Mother Brain fight potentially without max supers or the ability to do a stand-up glitch. Meanwhile, Ivan gonna shoot probably. Oh, missed one. Missed two. All right, so it's still pretty clean. And then 2 arrows for the big eyeball, and already done. He's getting out his mirror for something. He needs to flute next. Oh no, he needs to mirror then flute. Ivan knows this game so much better than I
think
do.
he might check checkerboard cave while he's here.
Oh
wait, he's
yeah,
but he
that would
is
be a
in go mode.
yeah, but it's a cheeky check that would reward him with Ice Beam and speed up his late game, so it would be worth. No, just a straight mirror to flute, which is yeah. So just he's pre-menuing like the forethinking gamer he is.
No, Silverrain's about to get to the baby.
So Ivan got to go mode like the 3 dungeons that have the biggest difference between full clear and go mode in Link to the Past. Swamp, Ice, and Mire. Like that feels super good. So Monkey1879 in chat, the way the combo rando is coded with the fact that the world isn't ready to blow up after you finish Mother Brain, the countdown's not going or anything, that room actually just goes back to normal. There are pirates and stuff. You can go right, you can go up. If you got a 2% power bomb drop from one of the pirates in that shaft, and then got a few more because you need a few, you could go through and check. Actually, I think you only need 1 if you have morph ball bombs. You could go through and check shaft supers, theoretically.
It's worth pointing out we do not have morph ball bombs. We have not seen.
Those are probably landed in GT or like somewhere in Swamp. Yeah, chat also talking about one thing that we'll see, which is Silverrain will have the Hyper Beam for the remainder of her time in Super Metroid before she transitions games. And just for the memes, one time on stream I did like half of a Brinstar clear with full Hyper Beam because I put it off for so long, so you know, it could be fun.
Yeah, I mean, the good news is I feel like she's gonna go up the shaft and be like, oh, shaft supers.
Exactly, right? There's nothing that reminds you more about a location than walking right next to it, I would hope. Went for a down back Zeb skip the first time through the room, didn't get it reset, then the second time just opted for supers, so looks like we'll be using supers on the... Nope, supers on the first 3 gates, missiles on the last one, missiles on Mother Brain 1, and then some combination of missiles, supers, and charge to finish off Mother Brain 2, since we don't have full beam or 60 supers. Ivan not missing anything that we know of here going through Ice Palace. There was the Freezor room he just passed by had yet another energy tank.
And I mean, really, aside from Plasma, he's not wanting for any items.
Yep. And from what we know, Plasma probably going to show up in GT. Like that's where the money for Plasma is.
I guess Plasma and Ice would both be nice. We know he won't find Ice.
Silverrain opening with a salvo of missiles. Missiles doing 100 damage here. Mother Brain has 36,000 HP. Is that right?
I'm the wrong person to ask for the numbers.
Okay. I think it's 36,000 and takes 60 super missiles at... Hang on. You know what? Someone else can do the numbers. Maybe it's 18,000. 18,000 sounds more right because it's... Yeah. It's 60 supers at 300 damage a pop. Okay.
Oh, geez, you've cast enough games to know you don't do math live on Twitch.
I fear no math on Twitch. I'm happy to do it. Chat can can scold me all they want about doing math on Twitch. I'll do it every day. Silverrain going for stand-up with just New Beam. This is not going to put much of a dent in Mother Brain 3, unfortunately. New Beam does the equivalent of 1 super missile of damage, whereas Full Beam does the equivalent of... No, we're on the ground now. We're facing right. I don't know if this is a problem. Is this a problem, chat?
Yeah, that was very weird, the way that she went on her knees and then just kind of, like, I would say Gumbied, if you remember the old Gumby show.
Chat, is this a problem? I genuinely I'm worried about the fact that she's facing right before this cutscene starts.
I feel like Maniacal is making me think this is a problem.
Well, the baby is draining or is restoring HP. As long as the baby can take damage from Mother Brain, we're fine. Wait,
No.
Maniacal says it is a problem. What is going to happen? Uh-oh. Well, TBD on baby situation here. This could be a reset for Silverrain. No? Wait. Okay, the game's going a little slow, but we're alive. Do we have Hyper Beam? Oh, we're okay.
Calm down, everybody. It's all okay.
Alright, so that drama's over now,
Oh,
finally.
yeah, we totally forgot Big Key
Yeah,
guessing.
exactly. The big tower, the Ganon's key. He's doing something. Anyways, put a number in chat between 1 and 22. You know the drill. And get your single G's out in chat for Silverrain, who has taken down Mother Brain, one of the 2 required final bosses. So if you want to, you can put a G and then a number, so you can do both at once.
Yep, guess 1 or 2. Silverrain with the drama making us completely forget about I.
Yeah, and not going to get bailed out by Big Key on Torch with boots at Waterway or anything like that. So this seed is pretty much decided. Unfortunately, Ivan would have to make some kind of silly play that leads him to getting soft locked on Mother Brain repeatedly. Like, it just doesn't happen. So
His would have to get corrupted or something.
So rather than worry about what the comeback narrative looks like at this point, we can just kind of, talk about how the runners execute their late game and look for those shining moments. Silverrain gets a spark up the shaft and might think, ooh, you know what I need to do? Do that, but about 2 screens to the right after this.
Or go back to Link to the Past.
Please, you'll never be closer. Please, please.
I mean, I'm starting to be afraid that she just marked it off that she had it, or...
That's another thing. You can use a map tracker, but then mark off something out of habit or just on accident. When you pass by it, you're like, oh yeah, Bryn start, and you click off all the stuff that's kind of in that cluster. Now, she's heading towards Pendant Hera and Spike Cave. She'll get Hookshot. The problem is that Hookshot will just lead her to Hookshot Cave and then yet more dead ends because it doesn't do anything else.
But it is worth noting that I know some trackers have like an automatic feature that can track stuff you pick up that I have no idea how that works. But that is in fact banned for this tournament. You cannot use any kind of automatic track. And there's the big key in Rando Room. What chest is that, chat?
I never actually count this because I don't play or watch solo ALTTP Rando too much. Alright, so Ivan heading up through the gauntlet. Silverrain, go mode -1 with Hookshot in hand and is wondering, what the heck, game? Places many bombs. Unfortunately, there are going to be probably many more bombs placed when she eventually gets to the flippers in TR after finding that elusive Red Cane, which she has orphaned now like 3 times.
And I think that was chest number 11.
I like Ice Zero's posts in chat. Congrats everyone, you're the winner. Yeah, we're all watching, we're all playing the game. we're all the winners, right? We all get a participation trophy for being here on SpeedGaming, watching this wonderful tournament and these two great runners. See, everyone's a winner.
Yep. Please give these guys a follow. This has been a you know, I mean, again, this is kind of the nature of this rando. It was a very exciting race for most.
We're neck and neck at points. We went through a lot of the same dungeons simultaneously, had some interesting route divergence, and things go in one runner's favor or the other throughout. So there was a lot of drama. And even where there lacks drama, there can still be a thrill. And right now we've got the thrill of Ivan chasing around these Zazaks. Zazaks? We just did the Zazaks on these icy floors, which is nobody's idea of fun.
Now, by the time when I'm playing this rando, again, I get to this point, I've had enough of it, so I just bob up. I'm not gonna put up with any sass from the Zazaks or the Stalfos or anything.
Yeah, I will. The only person in this rando I will put up with sass from is Sahasrara. Or Sass. I was trying to go for a sass joke there, and it did not come out. But
Sarsaparilla.
Yeah, exactly. Ooh, there are the
Oh,
boots.
jeez, there's the boots.
So, okay, if Big Key had been on Torch, though, like Ivan would have immediately gone outside and checked that specific cave before anything else. So, in this alternate universe where it's like Silverrain's way back in is that, it wouldn't have worked.
All right, Zaruvzian. I'll never get it. Says that it was just number 11, which I believe the winner was Mike's Gaming Experiments. Congratulations. You win absolutely nothing.
And you know who else is going to win absolutely nothing except maybe a plasma beam is Silverrain doing boot locks checked. Boot locked checks. Say that 10 times fast.
Speed checks. Come on, Silverrain. Speed checks. Different game. Still speed checks.
The thing where you've got the thing you put on your feet and you go fast, just in the future.
I like the hedgehog. That's what I want to see. I want to see a Zelda Metroid Sonic cross.
By the way, Ivan has been doing this bootless Ganon's Tower with aplomb, and he's just hard noping out of tons of stuff, except for that full magic refill. That's a smart pickup. It looks like his bottles are empty, so this is just going to make sure for certain that when he's on Ganon, he's got all the magic he needs for those torches. Silverrain doing the mirror version of bonking there, which is getting sent back because your portal wasn't in a good spot.
That's always really annoying, because that's just time lost.
10 arrows and bonk rocks.
Yep, and Ivan's moving on to Geometry Boss.
Did he just get a double out of that? Because that was
a
setup.
I think that was a double.
Wow. Yeah, I saw them go to 3 corners of the room and I was like, nah, no way. Ooh, and if he didn't get blue balled there, he probably was going to reflect that other shot, so unlucky. Easy agging him too there. And we got a question in chat from Mike's Gaming Experiments. Is there a Plandomizer for this mod? No, as of right now, Plando doesn't exist for SMZ3. You'd have to manually construct a seed with probably some of the developer tools. I think people in the developer channels of our Discord would be better to ask about that, so join the Discord.
Yep, and as Ivan heads into... I don't know why every time I start this I say as something. I really need to vary up my routine. You guys are probably getting sick of it. Check out our sponsor, rank1.global. They're doing a cash prize for the top 4 in this tournament, so that means that Ivan's going to be going up against Andy to advance in the tournament. I'm sure that's going to be a hype match that everyone will be excited about. Ivan and Andy never fight each other.
Oh, I mean, when have they ever, like... So Ivan, he's already through to the second phase of the Ganon fight here. You need 12 Tempered Sword slashes or 6 Tempered Sword spins to get through phases 1 and 2. He did those with aplomb, and he's on to the third phase, which just needs 4 slashes, but if you don't get the slashes out soon enough, these big fire bats come circle the room, make it kind of annoying because they can knock you into the pits.
The race I was covering last night had 15 Ganon teleports at one point.
Yeah, this Ganon's behaving, though. We're going to be able to damage him real soon. He asked us where the silver arrows were. They were in Kakariko. And Torch Glitch his hit. Ooh, did we get... Oh, okay, didn't get that slash in the middle of his transit there. But we got a triple! So, get
That
your
was
single...
a very nice...
Who has felled the big pig.
Yeah, that was a really nice triple there.
We had like a couple pixels remaining that Ganon could still move, and that's what allows you to get those multiple hits, is Ganon needs to have more space available before he reaches the edge of the platform. Save and quit, reset to Super Metroid. That locks in the boss kill, so the game knows that you're going to be ready for a true and full escape to complete the game and get the final credit roll in Super Metroid, when you, of course, defeat Mother Brain. Ivan, because he also doesn't have full beam, nor does he even have ice beam, he's going to refill, load up on supers and power bombs here. Silverrain just going to kind of be sad as more of these out of the way checks don't pay out, and we're still on the hunt for those 2 trolley items. This could be the Caneless Mire dip, which you absolutely hate to see. Oh boy.
I was just going to say, to quote Final Fantasy Randomizer, you hate to see it.
Yeah, you really do. Yeah, not to veer too far off track, but also like the end games of this randomizer compared to that, like there aren't equalizers, there aren't things that can say, oh, one player is going to fully reset and give the other one time to catch up. The end game here is pretty rote. Ivan's going to be in and out of Turian in about 8 minutes total, from here to reaching a ship on escape. Doesn't usually deviate too far from that.
Yeah, there's unfortunately no Temple of Fiends revisited.
In Misery Mire, what can make this experience less just miserable? We could get plasma
A sword?
and a sword. Yes, if Silverrain got 2 items here and it was exactly plasma and a sword, it would feel not awful.
I've been doing some fancy spring ball jukes of the Metroid.
We'll have to see it. It doesn't like you're not worried about the Metroids actually draining your HP fully here when you've got this much. So he doesn't have to dodge them, but yeah. Still, it is fun to just bounce them around the room with Spring Ball. Honestly, Spring Ball is such a fun item. Why did the developers have to put it so late in the progression?
It's in such an easy spot to miss, too, because... I mean, I know that Super Metroid is full of things that are easy to miss, but, like... Why would you grapple that block? There's no reason to grapple that.
If you visit there before you do Dragon and you don't have space jump, you might think, oh, I want to grapple this to get across the pit, to see what's on that door on the other side, and then you'll be blocked off with a dead-end room and be like, dead-end rooms in Metroid are always suspicious.
I guess that's fair. I'm pretty sure that I had the Nintendo Power Flight Guide when I played Super Metroid.
Alright, going for a baby skip here, Ivan. Again, very, very proficient veteran runner, and I just caster cursed him, so sorry about that, Ivan. He did not get baby skip.
Ivan will remember this.
I guess it was too late for more real drama, but not too late for more caster curses. But yeah, as chat points out, he faced right, and Silverrain
Hey,
got a
sword!
sword!
She got a sword! Come on, Plasma!
I'm thinking of that moment in Aladdin where the pet monkey like gets a sword, and all the guards are like, "He's got a sword!"
I haven't actually seen Aladdin in such a long time.
Alveoli in chat gets the reference. Sweet. All right, so let's see what kind of zip skip Ivan does with Speed Booster here. He does exactly the one that you're supposed to do. Great. So Ivan is through with a very impressive short charge through the door. I believe one of your taps happens while you're like transitioning through the door. I don't know. It's hard. That's in my category of tricks I will never do is tapping through the door for a charge.
Unfortunately, Silverrain gets the second item. It was not Plasma. It was $20.
All right, this will be our second Mother Brain fight of the day because Silverrain already has that in the pocket. So technically she's had one progressive completion advantage above Ivan here for this entire end game that we've been playing out, but lacks a whole bunch of things in Link to the Past. And this is now looking like the Finnish Pendant Skullwoods play. Alright, Ivan is, without Plasma, accurately going for the 300 damage, 3 E-Tank finish here, and is just gonna take a coffee break. Or if he's not into coffee, make some tea. And if he's not into either, go grab a Diet Coke. I don't know. Maybe he'll take this this cutscene as a chance to head over to rank1.global/Ivan and tune up his esports profile. Thanks, Rank1.
Yep, and give a follow to my co-commentator Cheesenator. He is a pretty fun guy to do counts with, and I'm sure that he'd love to have you follow him. And give our tracker, whose name I'm just not even going to bother trying to pronounce anymore, a follow. His name may be hard to say, but he's done an excellent job tracking. Tracking is a really hard job, and he did a fabulous job.
Right, Silverrain in Skullwoods at the 251 mark doesn't even have the red cane to make this puzzle nice, so still has to just push around this boulder. This is some like Sisyphus rolling the statue uphill and for eternity kind of feeling right here.
Did she check ped or did Ivan check ped?
She checked ped quite early. When she noped out of Pendant Era, she was like, wait, do I even need to do Pendant Dungeons? And we found out that it was an arrow capacity upgrade.
Okay. Yeah, I remember it being nothing. I just couldn't remember if she had checked it or not.
Right, on to phase 3. Ivan's got the Hyper Beam. He's going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 repeatedly, pump in those, let's call it 36 to 40-ish shots because I can't count, and that'll take care of Mother Brain 3.
I feel like counting is another one of those things you're not supposed to do live on Twitch.
Accounting. Definitely don't do your taxes on Twitch. Silverrain takes maybe an unintentional death there, going for the bomb jump to cash in that big key. Kept falling in while trying to set it up. You got to line up the top of Link's ear there with kind of the crevice between some of those. Oh, there we go. 3 hundo. All right, we're rich. And Ivan, about to be one step closer to being rich himself. There is a cash prize for the top 4 in this tournament, so advancing each round, you get closer and closer to actually getting a money finish. But Ivan just needs to finish out the escape here. Doesn't Leo dox this room, it looks like, so I think we're in good shape. Does not go for the behemoth, opts for the standard vertical spark on the right. has to do some wall jumping in Parlor and then get past the Steam. And if you've ever seen Super Metroid finished before, you know the Steam can stop you from getting that world record your dreams were set on.
And it looks like Ivan is going to finish with an official speed running time of 2 hours, 54 minutes, and 15 seconds.
GG's for Ivan. Get those GG emotes out in chat. We are all quite pleased to have seen that run. Very proficient on his part. Topsy-turvy, some goofy item placements, but he navigated it very well. And we can also tell you now that in the annals of 10 minutes ago history on the stream delay that Silverrain did forfeit from the race. And we are now joined in the chat by Ivan. GG and congratulations.
Hello, thanks.
So, gosh, the story of this seed really feels like it comes down all the way back to a scout that you did that Silverrain passed on, and that's the Shaft Super location.
Oh yeah.
I want to, Ivan, you and Silverrain both did the same thing, where you checked right sand pit and did not check Shack Tool and reset. And then you did the left sand pit, got the gloves, and then did Shack Tool. Can you kind of talk about your thought process?
Yeah, I messed up and forgot to do it when I checked.
That's as good of a reason as any.
I was falling down the left sand pit and went, oh shit, I have grapple beam. Oop.
Another interesting moment where we could probably see something going through your head was when you got the flippers in Turtle Rock and you mirrored, which granted is fine to do from right side after the torch mini game, and then you walked outside and then you walked back in.
Yeah, no, that's just another brain fart.
Okay. Because I've seen people and have also made the ooh, I got flippers in TR, let's go find hookshots somewhere else sort of play before.
No, I had every intention to finish Turtle Rock when I walked in. I just walked out for some reason.
Yeah, that makes total sense. What else was going on? Can you tell us a little bit about Skull Woods? I think we went there twice.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of dipping independence, but I figured why not? Maybe. I told myself I was just gonna stay in the front and not head anywhere near the back at the first time, and then I was starting to get low on stuff that I could do in Zelda, and all the progression seemed to be coming from Zelda at that point. So I kind of wanted to stay in like the past. I decided to go to the back and took a bunch of damage on the way back to Moth, and then not really experienced with Hammer Moth.
That's not a fun fight.
No.
Your next opponent's going to be Andy. Is there any trash talk you want to throw out, or any thoughts on your next opponent?
I mean, I'm undefeated against Andy in tournament matches, so.
Oh. Well,
so you're not even going to practice then, right? Like it's already a foregone conclusion.
No, I'm going to be playing Terraria from Saturday until who knows.
Oh heck yeah! It's that 1.4 update comes out on the 6th.
Yeah, that's gonna be pretty much all I do until I play Andy. So
sweet. More stuff about the seed. So the shape of this seed, really interesting because it was linear early, funneled both of you to the same spot, and then it opened up. You had double suits, so you could go kind of anywhere you wanted in SM, and then it collapsed again. And so both of you basically did croc for those 3 items at almost the same time.
Yeah, that was dumb. That was like the craziest Skull Woods I've ever seen, though. Those are incredible items in there.
Yeah, that's also, I think, the most progression I've ever seen at Croc in my life. And even there's a mail upgrade at the top of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was hands down definitely the best Crackermire I've ever seen.
Gosh, what else? There was certainly a lot of intrigue. We had you and Silverrain diverge at a couple junctures, not in super big ways, but go to items or go to locations in the opposite order and have some item that helped you clear them more efficiently. We didn't really see at any point a moment where it was like, oh no, Ivan didn't do this one check that's going to come back to bite him. You were pretty thorough. I think the only time you passed on something that we said you could have maybe done was Pendant Armos Knights also was green pendant, so that was 2 items right there by Pod.
Yeah, I thought about it, but I figured with also if it was just the bow down at Crocomire, then I would have done that. But also having the mirror and the speed booster, which gave me red cane, and then so I had all Turtle Rock open to do too.
That makes a lot of sense, yeah. And yeah, you got to go mode 3 of the nicest dungeons to go mode. So the end game was just super smooth, kind of a blitz through your crystals there. That had to feel nice.
Yeah, 254 without boots and pretty late speed is not.
Did you have a thought like I have an advantage over Silverrain, or this is going to be an even match? Did you have any kind of sense of your?
I had no idea, but I thought that I was behind when I found all the Crocomire items. I had thought about going down there earlier. It was kind of I was trying to decide between doing Norfair and Lower Norfair or going to which I guess I'm glad I went to Murdy anyway because I got the flute early. But yeah, I kind of put off Croc until the last possible thing I could do in Super Metroid, so that felt kind of bad.
Yep. Both of you did pull off a snail clip high jump list to sequence break the flute, so that was impressive. But Croc, it's totally understandable given that this particular Croc, because the speed booster was hiding there, you don't even have sort of the usual logical signal in your brain. I think most of the time you get there through speed booster rather than wave beam.
Yeah, I mean, we just had to go all the way around. I just didn't. I knew I could clear Lower Norfair, and I said, well, I'll probably do that and then go into Crocomire if I need to. But
yeah, based on what the seed was giving us early, as a commentator, I made a prediction that there'd be something in Lower Norfair. There was nothing, which of course is why I'm commentating. So, how were you feeling when you just walk into Thieves Town and you're like, suit? Another suit? Like, what's going on?
I mean, it's nice to have, but it opens up Super Metroid so much having both. So it's kind of like I'm not sure what to actually.
Yeah, it's hard to read a particular direction from that, and it kind of makes Super Metroid a pick'em at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I also don't like most of the game opening up that quickly, which is also something that happens on the hard logic a lot. Do you have any more thoughts, just how good or bad parts of this felt for you? If you're feeling like you're in good racing shape to make a run through the bracket here?
I don't know. I mean, I haven't really played much of this outside the tournament at all. So whatever happens, happens. But it's been fun so far. So
That's a good approach. Yeah, if you keep your expectations low and don't get emotionally invested beforehand, then anything that does happen in your favor is a bonus.
yeah.
Cool. Well, Eleanor, do you have any more questions for our guest here, Ivan?
Nope, I think that answered all the questions I.
Cool. Ivan, any last thoughts?
I don't think so. I mean, thank you guys for doing commentary.
And speaking of doing commentary, just really quick here, there is many races going on tomorrow, but I don't know if any of them are going to be streamed. So much for that.
we do have a slate of combo rando races coming up. A lot of people getting either their first or second round matches out of the way right now. Keep an eye out on the SpeedGaming schedule. You can also go to, gosh, I want to say schedule.speedgaming.org/SMZ3 1v1 to see what's coming up.
That is correct.
Cool. And Silverrain behind the scenes on IRC saying not to wait up on her finishing out the seed and getting into go mode and stuff. So we will be wrapping it up here.
Yeah, I will throw out there that I did ask Silverrain if she like forgot shaft supers, and she said that yeah, she just missed it and forgot them. But please give both our runners a follow, Ivan and Silverrain. I mean, it was a really close race for 80% of the race, so she did really good.
Yeah, gotta be proud of your stance or stature, I guess, getting to this point in the tournament. Making brackets, of course, and then putting up a good showing. And yeah, thank you all for tuning in. It's been a wonderful broadcast. I had a great time here co-comming with Eleanor. Hope to talk to you all again soon. For my part, I've got my next race coming up against Azure next week. Rip me, I guess, but that'll be a fun one. Tracy and Maniacal are doing comms for that. That's Tuesday night. You can look out, of course, for Ivan and Andy's match to be scheduled, since we just found out that it'll be Ivan playing Andy. And yeah, it's going to be exciting the rest of the way. Lots of talented runners in this bracket, super stacked.
All right, have a good night, everybody. I'm signing off.
I'm signing off as well. Thank you for watching Speed Gaming.